How you guys doing? It is time for things are getting sketchy, and we are at another Turtles night. We've got a heavy hitting crowd lined up, so we're just going to jump right into it. We got Mike Ruth, that's his hand there in the top left. Carl Waller, his hand's in the top right. Jason is in the lower left, and that's his hand. And Chris Vance's hand's already there on the lower right. So, music playing, logo on screen. Danny is pointing out the obvious. Okay, cool. All right. And we got Linda popping in the chats. Everything seems to be in the right world. So you guys got your turtle ideas, got your drinks. We ready to do this?
I don't have my drink. It's making me sad. And, I was just thinking, if we wanted to southernize this, we could have named it We Fixin' the Draw.
No. we will not be southernizing it. That was a mistake that luckily was not done on camera.
The first time when I came down here and an anchor friend, Nathan Massengill, I was talking to him, and I just offhandedly said, I'm fixing to do something, and he began laughing at me like I'd been assimilated by some sort of Southern board collective, and I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Did I just say that?
All through junior high and high school, coming from Wisconsin to Florida, every time I'd hear that, I'm fixing to do this, I was like, what now? It took forever for me to realize how to use that properly.
I remember one of the first emails I ever had between Stefan and I doing some Aftershock work. I said something to the effect of like, I reckon I can have it done by Wednesday. And he said, okay, Abe. He was like, okay, Abraham, or something like that. I can't remember. It was something. He's some kind of old-timey name, like Ezekiel or something. Sure thing, Ezekiel, or something like that. It was classic.
Linda just walked in and said, everybody is echoing.
Yeah, I just saw the metering. Hang on.
Oh, sorry. Is my sounds okay? Not too echoey or weird?
Yeah, we should be good now.
Okay.
She's my quality control.
Yeah, no. I just noticed like when Mike was talking, all of a sudden the metering on my mic was going through the roof. But it's because I had it set up for the dicey game, not
Okay.
tags. So it should be good now. So hopefully everyone's caught up to the proper audio.
You know, Mike, when I see those photos you post and you have that pencil that's like down to 1/8 of an inch long and you're still drawing with it, this is my cheat.
What do you do? Oh, you tape it to the back. Yeah.
Draw on the end of it.
Oh, yep.
Hmm.
Good
And
idea.
I have it longer.
Right
I
back.
have one of these pencil holders too. I've been using these. That's a pretty handy thing. But the lead on that one was actually so small that the pencil holder couldn't hold it. I had to wrap tape around the end of it to make it thicker so that this thing could put some tension on it because it was that small. But I have a whole box of those pencils now, thanks to Erica. So I'm laughing now. I'm in good shape with that. So yeah, these are great. I don't know if I was going to ask you guys. I don't know if I've had a chance to talk about Blackwing pencils with you guys, but these are sweet as hell. I've enjoyed drawing with these. Now these ones, the matte ones, are very dark, and they're a little bit harder to erase. I find so they're more of a finishing pencil, but man, really slick and smooth. And the other ones that are available, there's like kind of 3 or 4 different ones. This is all worn down. This is like a pearl finish one. I think it's basically the same as like I would say probably like I don't know, maybe an H pencil or something like that. And then there's another one that's a little bit darker. And then there's this one, which is this is kind of the sketching one, which is basically like a 2H pencil, but it's got a nice, I don't know what it is, man. The lead is just slick and smooth. It's fast like lightning on the page. I can't really describe it. So anyway, I never thought I'd be swayed by a product like a pencil. Like I know I got my favorite brushes, but I thought a pencil is just a pencil, and that is ultimately true. But these are really nice. So treat yourself if you're out there and you want something nice. Get a set of these.
I'm dwindling down to the end of these, and I cannot find them anywhere. And I think I mentioned the last time I was on, because there's the way these things glide across the paper, and you can draw and erase and draw and erase and draw and erase and draw and erase. And I think that they have changed the composition of these pencils because I've ordered other colors and they're hard. But these are wonderfully soft. And if I'd known that was going to be happening a year ago, no joke, I'd have bought 1,000 of them and just stuck them in a giant box in my closet.
Yeah.
So, artist problems, right?
For sure.
So, oh man, I'm sitting here figuring. I'll come up with something clever.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing yet, man.
Chris, what are you working on tonight?
I had like a rough sketch of an idea for a Raphael piece. I just pulled that out. Figured I'd just work on that.
Sweet.
Something kind of like just basic, not like any last rodent stuff. I figure enough people are seeing a lot of rodent stuff lately.
Yeah, do the like second to last Ronin. Do something different.
Yeah.
And Jason, what about you, man? You got your idea laid out yet?
I'm not drawing the last Ronin now.
Sorry, Jason.
No. I'm gonna horribly attempt to draw one of my favorite Archie adventure comic covers.
I saw that book sitting there.
This one's always stuck with me as a kid, and for years I've wanted to redraw it. So I don't know what I'm trying to do here, but it's gonna try to happen tonight.
So are you gonna do like an homage to that story? Is that what
yeah, I'm gonna do
cool,
of
man.
a cover. We'll see.
Is that the Archie first appearance of Leatherhead?
Yes, issue 6. I remember that one the most as a kid. So I'm gonna try to spin it a little bit. on the figures, but
Rob's kind of wondering if anybody's going to try one of the new turtles.
I gotta
one of the babies.
I want to get a better look at them first. I don't know. There's great drawings and reference out there. I kind of want to see how that story goes before I start drawing those characters. Has issue 2 hasn't come out yet, eh?
no.
I enjoyed issue 1 though. I thought that was great. I thought that was really cool. I love the designs of them just on the initial, the initial stuff. Then as kids or whatever, pretty cool. Differences in them. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I like how they're all very unique looking turtles.
Mm-hmm. They look like different kinds of turtles, or they look like completely. Well, I don't know if they're based off of actual different turtles or if they're just kind of. They got unique designs though and colorations. I like the way they've two-toned some of them, and I like that Odin one, the big kind of burly one with the big jaw, like Kilowog looking jaw.
Yeah, I like that one.
Kind of interesting. Yeah, kind of cool.
Mike likes the big burly character? No way. Shocked, I say. Shocked.
Yeah, it's intriguing to see what they do with it, because I saw some IDW video where Eastman was talking about it. So each issue, they're a different age.
Right.
Oh, so it's going to be time jumps?
Yeah, so the time jumps.
Carl, what about you? What's in your agenda tonight?
Well, I'm going to do something Ruth inspired.
Ooh.
Did you
my
drop your
drawing
mic
is
in
going to my piece is going to be more of a team up, and it's going to involve Swamp Thing.
Ooh.
Nice.
And a Ninja Turtle. But it's going to take me a minute to get this where folks can see what I got going on. But we'll get it under control here.
I can hear the anger in Mike's chuckle. Motherfucker.
I was going to do that.
You bastard.
Bringing Swamp Thing into my turtles.
Yeah.
Kind of a Swamp Thing character in the Turtles world, right? Wasn't there like a giant garbage monster or something like that? I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there some kind of entity like that?
There's Muckman, who's made out of
Yeah, who's that?
but I don't really.
I can't remember.
Garage issue of some.
They kind of did a Swamp Thing
remember, to be honest,
character like in
I just had this weird memory.
in the
Didn't
animated
they have their
show.
own version of Swamp Thing, but he was kind of more like a trash guy or something. Unless I'm thinking.
I'm guessing that would be Muckman, right?
Maybe,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Muckman.
maybe. I'm not sure if it was a cartoon where I saw him, or if it was the, or if it was in the comics somewhere.
Yeah, he looks more like Toxic Avenger than
Okay, yeah.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Well, for a moment, I was going to do, let's do Man Thing. But then I'm like, let's tweak Ruth, and I'm going to try and do a Swamp Thing. See if I can get his Ruth seal of approval on a Swamp Thing. And the fun part about drawing, Swamp Thing is there's so much leeway.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can draw with a lot of slop, and you can.
Oh yeah, no, you don't even have to try anymore with Swamp Thing. You can just let it go.
Yeah,
there's a couple of key things you got to lock in, but you can kind of let some stuff. You could exaggerate a lot of things and get away with it. You can keep it really, anatomical and get away with it. You seriously made one? Yep. Oh man,
it's a double.
A double.
Uh-oh.
Cheers.
It's gonna get sloppy before 8 p.m., folks.
Oh, and my Swamp Thing glass too. Oh, it's all meant to be. Look at that. Nice. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I want one. Do you guys deliver?
I can't show you the Swamp Thing part of the glass because I have to turn it upside down, and that can happen sooner than later, but I'd let that happen naturally.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fill my ink bottle over here too, because I'm gonna go through a bunch on this. I wanna do a little more Mike stuff, like I love where you draw him, where he's got all these tree branches coming out of him and shit, because I'm just so hung up on the original Bernie Wrightson.
Yeah, but it's really ultimately the best. There's something so unbeatable about that classic original. Like I love the Total Bin stuff and the Bissett stuff. Don't get me wrong, all incredible. But there's something about Bernie that just set the blueprint. Basically, everything else is just an homage to him with extra details or extra different kind of details or
I
a
noticed
half-ass attempt at more details.
Everybody still keeps like the same, just like to the face, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And I remember, in Total Bin stuff, I remember looking at that going, oh my God, look at that. And I was kind of a Wrightson purist, but I was like, nah,
Yeah.
You could see Total Bin was busting his ass.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
And it kind of, you could see he's like, I'm going to bounce off of Wrightson and do my thing. So,
yeah,
that was great. So, we're going to do that. Gonna get some nice heavy darks and shadows and texture. Rip you off as much as I can, okay? So
knock yourself out. Yeah, I'd love to draw. I was really hoping I could have done a cover for the Green Hell series. Originally, when it first came out, that was sort of in the plans, but it didn't end up working out. And ultimately, it was probably for the best, given how much it cost to make those DC cover variants. But I was lined up to do one for issue 2, and it was really, really cool because the story takes place, in a ruined Earth where, just a handful of humanity left on a mountaintop that's essentially all that's left of the land. Everything else is underwater. Most of the animals are gone, and the artwork's sensational, and it's really good. Jeff Lemire's writing it. But what's interesting is the creatures that are in the swamp things that are showing up in this book, other than Alec Holland returning to be the original Swamp Thing to kind of fight them.
Oh, cool.
Is there's a blend of the rot and the red and the green have all combined to basically expunge the earth of humanity. And so, one of the last remaining humans is John Constantine. And so he is able to get Alec to come back.
It should be.
Anyway, it's been
yeah.
awesome. Issue 2 just came out. It's been really cool. But the creatures, the evil sort of Swamp Thing creature in that is awesome because he's basically a mix of the Swamp Thing and flesh and rot. So he has like rotten gums, and there's an amazing Yannick Paquette cover if you look it up for, I believe it's for issue 2. Might have been for issue 1. I think issue 2 of Swamp Thing Green Hell, Yannick Paquette. You'll get a sense of how fucking awesome that Swamp Thing looks.
Yeah, I have to hate that guy. Sorry.
I know. He's so awesome, man. He's also like the nicest guy in the universe, so it's really hard to hate him. But his work is so good. And yeah, he's just such a nice guy.
I'll still foster the hate in my heart.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, his stuff's beautiful.
Oh, Yannick's he's a Canadian treasure, man. He's something special for sure.
Him and Maple syrup.
Yay! Thank you. My nor'easter arrived.
Woo!
Nom nom nom. All over it. I have to move my stuff off my side tray here. I set up this thing on my desk. I went on eBay and I found one of those little stainless trays that they use in hospitals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I bolted some sign material because, my woman runs a sign shop, so I got access to all that stuff. Took a piece of aluminum angle and I just put it on the desk, and my drafting desk has one of those big aluminum troughs across the bottom where all my shit ends up.
Okay, yep.
And so now I have this nice level little tray where all my other shit ends up. And that is where the nor'easter will ride for now. And see, the thing about making those is it doesn't take very much of what's the beer? The
Need a little more than that.
ginger. It's ginger beer. And
Ginger
it's
beer, right?
three
Yeah.
little ginger beer, and you pop one of those open, and the rest of it goes to waste. So I must drink as many nor'easters in the next day or so as I can.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah.
Must not waste the ginger beer.
No, no, it's not to be wasted.
All right. Okay, we got Mr. Holland coming together here. Don't worry, we're gonna get it square. You're gonna see me load this brush with ink, and I'm gonna go. It's gonna be great. Oh. So, how does it look for conventions in Canada coming up? Are you guys stuff like that? Can that happen yet? Or
Oh yeah. We've had conventions back more or less for around a year, I guess. I think. Yeah, I guess
Right.
kind of the first. Yeah, Toronto Comic Con I think was kind of the return to it last year, and that was March of last year. Maybe it was the October before where they did that one test run of Fan Expo, kind of reduced 25% down special edition size. But yeah, most shows are back up and running in full capacity, and everything's pretty much wide open now. Yeah, so yeah, it's back. It's back to the old ways, more or less. It's weird. Like there's a lot of eagerness for sure with people, but it is there's a settling in phase that's happening, I think, and it's made things challenging for sure. But yeah, you know.
I still have my passport that I got for last year or year before,
Oh yeah,
whenever.
yep. Yeah, well, we got to get you up here, man, for sure.
Yeah, Steph, we got to find a way to get our asses up there.
Mm-hmm. It would be fun. I've got a couple Canadian shows coming up. I had to cancel two, unfortunately. I had to cancel C2E2, but I also had to cancel. I had two little shows I was doing on the East Coast that I had to cancel, which just the timing of some medical stuff that's happening is just not great for travel. So it's just a unfortunate twist of events. But I still do in Montreal, I think, in July, and I got Niagara Falls coming up in June, and I have Toronto Comic Con in I think about 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So that'll be a nice one to return to for sure. But not doing too many. And then I got Granite Comic Con in September. But I'm keeping things kind of loosey goosey right now with scheduling because, well, to be honest, the cost is just super high to travel, and so
Yeah, I was about to say
it makes it really difficult to plan. It makes it super difficult to plan to do a show when you're really, the problem with doing shows, and I've learned this from doing them for over a decade now, is a lot of these shows you got to pay for them and pay for everything involved with it 6 or 7 months before the show, which means you might leave yourself kind of short with your life expenses in the preceding month. So it can really be a hard thing to plan. So yeah, that's where invites become important, and making a good impression when you're at a show, so that maybe the show promoter will like the energy at your table and say, I'd like to have you come back next year, and try to get that kind of good energy happening that way, because the game is changing for sure, and conventions feel a little bit different to me. But
So are you saying that my technique of dealing with fans by coming to the end of my leash and biting and snapping would be a bad?
It depends on what province you're in, but yeah, generally speaking, probably, yeah. Frowned upon, yeah.
Wow, boy, you're kind of judgy up there.
Now, careful, you don't want to get banned off of YouTube as well. Remember what happens when you mess with Canadians online, Carl. It's
I know. I
great track history on that.
I can't say mean things at all, even in jest. Do you guys have Bigfoot up there? Can I make fun of Bigfoot?
He's called by a different name, and depending on where you are, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a Canadian name for that cryptid?
No, I mean, I think Sasquatch gets used a lot, but that gets used in the States too, I'm sure. And yeah, I'm not sure. There's probably a bunch of great names for him. I'm sure they call him something different. And
he's a swamp ape in Florida.
Swamp ape, is he? Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Swamp ape, I like that. Well, that's pretty accurate, I guess. Yeah.
I don't believe that that there's any Bigfoot in Florida, because Florida man would have been found with Bigfoot duct taped down in his backyard. You know, because Florida man is formidable foe.
We rise up to the challenge. Yeah, the swamp ape would have been on a spit over a fire by now if it existed.
Yeah, somebody be driving around with his car with the head right on the hood, pulling up to Waffle House and picking fights. Yeah, is there lately, to avoid, looking at things like Vladimir Putin's face? I've been watching more stuff on cryptids and UFOs, than real news, because I'm kind of afraid of the real news. And
wait. You're saying that the cryptids and UFOs aren't real news?
Well, what's funny is they're kind of not real news.
Hurting it that I believe in all of it. Shush.
Anyway. It's crazy to me that the discussion around UFOs and everything that's happening is happening, and it's there's stuff that really no one can explain happening, and they have evidence and they got footage of it, and I just find it amazing that we've spent all of our lives reading about science fiction and watching Star Wars and things and talking about aliens and so many shows dedicated to the idea of an alien invasion or whatever, and so many things that have come from that. And here it could actually be happening to some degree, and it's just not important enough because there's so much other shit, like the Republican Party eating themselves to death, live on the air, and different things happening politically and around the world that are just it's like there's more interesting stuff happening in celebrity scandals than the idea that we're actually, being scoped out for a grand scale invasion and a takeover by an alien force. It's just so funny to me that it's not the only thing on the fucking news.
Frank, you got that wet blanket genius, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who poo-poos all of that cool stuff. Why would they come look at us? And I saw Rogan go, "Are you crazy? Look how interesting we are."
Yeah.
So, and I'd always thought of, somebody's going, why are they experimenting on us? And I'm going, yeah, I see a couple of a group of polar bears on an ice floe, and the one guy is going, "Look, Frank, I think you're full of shit. Why would they dart you and then stick something under your skin?" So
yeah, I don't know.
Get a little more graphic with this one too.
I always hope I'm going to see a Bigfoot one day. It's something I think about probably more than a normal person should. But we drive through the woods, or we drive through, just interesting places. I'm always eyes peeled for a Bigfoot. Like I'm ever going to see one by the side of the road. I'm mostly looking for bears too. I've never seen a bear in the wild either, safely from the car, I'd like to say. But it's I don't know. I always feel like one day, maybe one day, I'll be too crazy and old by then for anyone to believe me. But I'd like to see Bigfoot.
You're lucky it'll be like a Wendigo or something that'll want to eat your brains.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that'd be terrible. Those evil cannibal spirits. Yeah. I love that stuff, though. I've always loved that stuff.
So what I'm thinking here is there's a storyline I remember in this piece, but I'm modifying it because it's Swamp Thing instead of Man Thing. I remember when I was reading Man Thing, this has been high school back in the 80s, early 80s. And they did this storyline where Shang-Chi tried to fight him, right?
Mhm.
And he did this flying kick, and he ended up piercing Man Thing. So he's hanging like half in and half out of the Man Thing. And, whatever knows fear burns at the Man Thing's touch. But
Mhm.
Shang-Chi was not afraid of him. So it wasn't hurting him. So he ended up with part of the story going on where the Man Thing's walking around, and from the waist out, from the front, Shang-Chi's sticking out of it. His legs are poking out the back. So I'm going to have me a Ninja Turtle poking out the front of Swamp Thing.
Nice. There you go.
Like, he's like, I'm going to attack him. And he went, wait a minute. So
It'd be fun
that's
to
the
do
best
like
I can come up with. Sorry.
No, that's cool. It'd be fun to do like a Swamp Thing and Krang mashup where Krang's inhabiting the body of Swamp Thing instead of the android body. That'd be kind of fun. It'd be a neat drawing. So is anyone working on anything cool or allowed to talk about, or what do you got going on, Jason? You got any comics coming? Any projects on the go?
If life stops smacking me in the face
Yeah, I hear you,
with its
man.
dick, I think I would have some stuff coming. I'm close though. I'm close to being done with Bounty Bullfrog #2. That's
Nice.
so late, so late, but it's almost done. And then for the past 2 weeks or a week and a half, I've been dealing with health issues with my wife, so
Yeah.
everything's been on hold again, and I've been so close to finishing. But I have I just put in a approval for a concept cover for a book that I can't say yet. So
Oh, cool, man.
hopefully I hear good things back from it. That's really all I've got going on. It's just too much shit's happening.
Oh, I hear you, man. Yeah, for sure.
What about you?
Yeah, just working on Dodge, man, and kind of it's been real kind of lean time, so we've just been kind of living off of whatever the auctions can fetch, and just working on the comic and that, and just trying to put the time in. I got a really dynamic, action-packed final issue of Dodge in the works, and there's stuff in the book that is powerful to draw because I'm invested in the characters, and in comics stuff happens sometimes that you read about, but when you have to draw it, you're like, God damn, this is gonna hurt. So but yeah, it's been good though. Like, it feels there's good energy around it. I wish I was going a little faster. I'm sure my partner Matt wishes I was going faster too, but I'm doing the best I can, and yeah, dealing with a lot of life stuff as well that's hanging up some projects. But it'll be weird when Dodge is done because it'll be the first time in like 5 years where I haven't had like a comic or something to work on. So it'll be cool. I actually have a couple ideas of some little things I want to try to do myself. And I have actually thought lately a little bit about getting myself set up in such a way that I could do my own variants and things like that. I've never really looked into the logistics of that, and I certainly don't have a lot of space to store, thousands of books or anything like that. But it's something I've been thinking about lately. Because I know if I have some heads up on some projects that are coming out, I get great ideas for titles that I never will get to touch. But I don't know. Maybe I could open up that opportunity and see. It's a big risk, of course. Anyone making variant covers, it's a tremendous risk and cost and everything else. But I don't know. I'm curious about the idea anyway. I see others like yourself who do them and have great success with them, and I think, damn, that might be a lot of fun. So anyway, yeah,
it's like you said, it's one of those things where it's like there's so much that gets tied up in it, but you should totally do it. Totally do it. You would smash it.
you think? Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. I'm thinking about it. Definitely something I've been thinking about a lot. I just wish I had more space because I'm buried alive in here as it is. I'm waiting for the TLC camera crew to come in at any time to start filming another season of Buried Alive Hoarders. This guy was just crazy about art supplies, man. His whole place was just art supplies and comics and stuff he could not display.
I think I would love an episode of Hoarders like that, where they're just like they find like random like old vintage comics.
Well, stay tuned, my friend. Stay tuned.
But everybody watching that knows comics be like, no, that's not hoarding, that's collecting. It's a complete
yeah.
That's a very nice collection here.
Yeah. No one would ever look at that and go, oh no, they're hoarding. They'd be like, oh damn, I wish I had that.
They're like, I can't believe he didn't put the backboard in there.
Yeah, that's what we freak out about. Yeah,
this guy's a barbarian.
Is melting.
Yeah. Back in the day when I lived out in Utah, I had friends that lose their mind because I had X-Men comics laying all over the floor.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're talking like the real X-Men stuff that's worth money. Like when they're fighting Krakatoa, the Living Island, with the new X-Men just showing up.
Right.
And I'm stepping over that. My friends are like, ah, what? I'm reading them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, one of my fondest memories was the summer of 7th grade for me. Comics had always been something for me growing up, but the summer of 7th grade we went to my uncle's house and his stepson lived in their basement, and he was huge into comic books, and I guess there was a comic shop down the street from them or whatever, but his whole basement was full of comics and porno mags. So it was the best freaking summer of my life. It was like porn over here, and then the coolest fucking comics I had ever read over here. Like it was just like,
yeah,
I never wanted to leave Uncle Steve's house.
Pulling up my Turtles reference here so I can at least get somebody reasonably straight. I am not that proficient at drawing the turtles. Sorry.
There's a thing about drawing them. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. I don't know what it is. Everyone's got their own way too. It's always interesting to see people's different approaches. I think I'm still kind of searching for my. I ultimately kind of draw them the same, but I think I'm kind of still searching for my my resting turtle face, I guess.
Okay, Malak, the one true arc, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just got to make sure I don't, I keep this stuff reasonably straight. But give me a minute. You can start seeing ink drop on this here. But let's make sure the construction's right. So I'm eager to see what you do with Dodge. Now that you told me where you're going with the story, I'm not going to let anything loose.
I can't tell you what's going on exactly, but Carl, I'm going to tell everyone who's a Dodge fan out there who's listening.
You're going to hate me.
You guys can send all your hate mail to Carl because Carl does terrible things in this book. But they're also, I get to, well, I don't know if I have permission yet. I'm writing a joke into the page that Carl is on, and it's awesome. And I hope that it'll get a pass. Matt was awesome. Matt gave me like a 3-page section where he was like, okay, let's devote these 3 pages to Dodge beating up werewolves, and this is where we'll have our 3 people who back the draw me into Dodge level stuff. We'll put them in there. And I was like, sweet. And as I started laying it out, I was like, if I could use an extra page, I got this idea. So I asked Matt and he gave me no dialogue. He's like, just draw, whatever, draw a battle for 3 pages, Dodge fighting multiple werewolves. And I'm like, sweet, let's do it. But yeah, I ended up making it into a 5-page scene. I was like, can I have an extra page? I mean, it's cool, but like the stuff I want to do, like I'm trying to work out this one thing I want to do. And he was like, yeah, man, he goes, take all the pages you want, like believe in the force, like just let it go, like ride the lightning kind of thing. So I was like, all right. So that 3-page fight sequence is now a 5-page fight sequence. So I'm really excited about that because one of my favorite things about drawing comics is doing fight choreography, like figuring out, the kind of pacing and moves I want to do, and kind of use the Jackie Chan approach to like using the environment as part of what they're fighting with, and yeah, I'm having some fun with it. It's going to be cool.
I'll tell you, a dude who's an absolute master at that, Brian Stelfreeze.
Oh my God, what is that guy not a master of?
Yeah, I hate him too.
I know.
He's a great dude too.
Oh yeah, man, I know.
Great dude. I had the one thing happen at Heroes Con where I walked out with a piece I've been working on for a while. I was showing it to him, going, "Hey, here's what I'm working on." And he had a dude that was in front of him that he was talking art with, and it was a young guy going for his advice. And Brian proceeded to grab this piece that I had done. It was all inked, and he said, "Now look at how Carl did this. Look how he planned this out, and how these shapes are blah 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 blah." And he painted me up as some sort of genius. And then when the guy walked away, I said, "Brian, on all my stuff, I draw it till it looks right." And he gave this incredibly analytical, take on, here's why he pointed with this, and here's why this is really. And I'm like, yeah, God, I just draw it till it looks good to me.
It's just it's that gut instinct, right? I know. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, when Stelfreeze does a character that's, he's got those pages where the character is leaping through the pages and fighting, and he freezes the action, and he's just flipping brilliant.
I watched him ink. I think it was a Storm, or no, I'm sorry. And I didn't watch him ink it either, but I got to see him draw. My friend Bert's got a original character that he takes reference of to different shows and has artists draw them. He's got an amazing collection, and he had Stelfreeze do one, and it is breathtaking. It is, here just hands a guy like here's some nice, really, really nice reference drawings from another artist of what the costume and stuff looked like. And he just sat down like he drew that character a million times. And it was amazing. It was his own take on it, but it was exactly to the reference, but with his that Stelfreeze thing that he does, that perfect woman's face that he does with a brush that you're just like, how in the hell did you draw that, man? Like, he's something else, man. He's really just something else altogether, that guy.
He and the way he draws women, he'll do these character sketches, character designs, and the way he has them stand.
Mm-hmm.
And what he does with their legs and their feet, and the way they'll do things like point their toes like they're a dancer. And I look at that, I'm just like, dude.
Yeah. Super, super cool artist. I'd love to get a piece from him one day. I'd get him to draw me a Thundra. I bet you he'd murder a Thundra.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'd ask him to draw. It almost doesn't matter,
No, it doesn't. No, I know. You know what? Just draw me whatever. Actually, I would get him to draw Lady Ironwrath from Dodge. Who's kind of like she's the witch's tulpa. She's kind of like your Amazonian archetype character, like a Wonder Woman type, but with a bigger sword type deal. Yeah, I've had this cool experience lately when I've been drawing Dodge, where I will draw a page and I'll say to Erica, like, you know what? I think that might be the best page I've drawn of this whole thing. And she'd be like, that's awesome. And then it happens the next day. And I go, you know what? This page is even better than yesterday's. Look at me loving my own work for 5 minutes. This is crazy. It's anyway, it was weird. It was a weird feeling, but it's been good energy on this book. And
I am amazing. Right. All right.
Today I'm amazing. I drew a thing I didn't think I could draw, and I drew it well, and I am great.
Tomorrow we're going to explore crippling self-doubt.
Yeah, tomorrow I will analyze this with hatred in my heart for my heart, and that's how I operate. But for now, in this 5 minutes, I'm going to have a sip. I'm going to have a sip of my drink, and cheers to me.
See, I tend to look at a page and I'm like, like what the hell did I do with this? And then like 2 weeks later, I'm flipping through the pages and I'm like, this is actually good. Like, like, why am I so mad at myself?
I know. You ever find a sketch under your desk that just fell there 6 months ago? And it was a sketch that maybe you started working on the commission. You're like, nope, and you toss it and you start another page. And I live in a pile of paper, so it's normal. It's a normal thing for me. But I'll find a sketch that I did 8 months ago and be like, I remember I hated this sketch and I threw it away. I was like, God, I got mad at it. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, why did I hate this so much? I was switched on that day, man. I just couldn't see it. Like, this is a good sketch, It happened the other day, actually. I had done this really super rough, rudimentary sketch on scrap paper of Conan that I was going to use as a transfer onto a sketch cover. And I had this piece of carbon paper that I wanted to use. And I did the transfer, but then I noticed a major error in the anatomy that I hated, that I couldn't fix. And the problem with the carbon paper was it doesn't erase very well off of that surface. So I was kind of boned, and I set the cover aside and said, I'll revisit it one day. And today I was just kind of getting my table ready for tonight, and I saw it. And it was like, again, 2 weeks ago or so, I drew it and I hated it. And I picked it up. I'm like, I could save this. I could save this thing. Started working on it. And now it's going to be tomorrow's sketch. So there's a Conan auction coming tomorrow for people who like Conan.
My usual routine is I'll do something, I'll finish it, I'll polish it up, and I'll go, wow, this is shit. And I'll throw it in a drawer. And then a decade later, I'll pull it out and go, how did I do that?
Yeah.
And I did. I was busting my balls so hard that I hated what I did. And then later I look at it with fresh eyes. I'm like, this went okay.
Yeah. I'll look at stuff I colored ages ago, like when I was learning how to color and using a mouse, like not even having a tablet or anything like that to color with, and not really knowing what any of that stuff was, and just having deadlines, always having to color. I used to do a lot of historical stuff, so I was always drawing big scenes of like armies or, parades of military parades or horses and things like this. Tons of shit to color. So much labor. It was insane. And I'm looking at some of them, and there's some nice subtle things happening. And I'm like, fuck. I did it for so long every day, like so many hours a day, that like even when I was fast, I still had to make it look a certain way. It had to hit a certain bar for me. And yeah, man. And the thing is, like, look, I'm like, man, I was good back then. No, I wasn't good. I just spent way too long doing everything to make it perfect, and learned that kind of the hard way. I think, I don't know. I can't draw this man's legs today, though. That's one thing.
Pardon me a moment. I'm pulling up some burning Swamp Thing. There's stuff I want to get straight on the face. All right.
How about you, Chris? What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Nothing much really. I've been working on a few last year's.
Do you still have Chris? I can't
cover.
See there.
Yes, I saw that. It looks great, man.
Yeah, the Lost Series. I have a Lost Series 2 cover coming out. That was really fun to do. Hopefully I'll have a lot more covers. I do have something I'm working on. I can't really like say or show anything, but other than that, just commissions. trying to do more cover work, Patreon stuff, which is going slowly because like everyone else, life is getting in the way. I have a 9-month-old now, so
I was about to ask how that baby was.
yeah, that's a lot of my time. But yeah, I should be doing more Dragonflies sometime very soon.
Oh, nice.
Just waiting to hear, see a script from Wes. We talked about it a little
I
bit
think I'll have to watch the replay.
like last
I
week.
can't hear Chris at all.
Am I like volume too low or what? What's up?
No, I'm hearing you.
You guys?
Yeah, I
Okay.
hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's weird. I can't hear him.
Can you hear everybody else, Mike?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear Carl, I think.
Yeah, I'm
You
here.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I just can't hear. I can see Chris's drawing, but I can't hear him.
That's
weird.
wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody
That's
else can
weird.
hear him. Yeah.
So I'm asking him questions. I'm just sitting here in silence going, Sorry. I'll watch the replay. Sorry, Chris. I'm not sure what's going
All
on.
good.
Badmouth the hell out of you. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Take your shots while you can. I can't hear you. Cut a savage
Yeah.
promo for the rematch in Granite.
That's right. That was so much fun though, man. I love that. That was great. Hopefully we get to do more of that. Hopefully I get to do another one with you guys.
Neil, Linda didn't place Carl in timeout. Facebook placed Carl in timeout. So Carl's been working on a book of his own. Can you talk about that at all, Carl?
Sure.
Go for
Dan's
it.
been starting to post stuff on them interwebs like Instagram and stuff. So probably it's funny. This is about 1 million years going. Probably in 1998, 97, I sent Dan an email and I said, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool to have a story with two guys in hell delivering stuff, right? Because I'm thinking like an artist. There's so many different hells, and I could draw really cool shit." And my thought process was like 8-page backup stories. It was very small scale. And Dan's like, "Hey, that's interesting." And he sent a prospectus back that blew me up against the wall. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he took this thing and my idea was just simple. I can draw cool shit. And he turned it into this thing that I'm like, holy shit balls. And the original title, which ended up, this is how far back, CrossGen ended up using that title, Route 666.
Oh.
And
Nice.
we always hated it because we were like, "You assholes, this is inferior to what we created." So we had this cool idea. And then Dan had a life, I had a life, and it didn't happen, right? So Dan gets in touch with me sometime back. I do not want to say how long. And he goes, "I'd like to do something with you." And I listened to him on the phone, and I know damn good and well exactly what you want to work on. Because this is such a cool thing. There's no way we shouldn't not do it. And so I'm actually in the next day or so going to be finishing up. The whole idea was this story will take place in 4 to 6 issue story arcs. And basically what he came up with is he came up with the title Axel's Infernal. And it is as if FedEx and UPS hell has their version of that, and we're bringing it to Earth. And it's just this amazing story that Dan created this structure that I'm just like, geez, dude, And it's fun working with him because when he contacted me, I said, look, here's what it's going to be like working with me on this. I'm going to throw about a zillion ideas at you. Feel free to shoot down whatever you think does not work. But please don't take it like I'm trying to write it. It's just when he hands me scripts, I get ideas.
Yeah.
When he hands me script, instead of me going, oh my God, I have no idea how I'll handle that, it kind of becomes, shit, there's 8 ways I could do this, because it inspires me enough to say, wow, I could do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So it's nuts. I sent Stefan some pages earlier if you want to flash them on the screen. And
you know how much work that takes?
My worship of you has just kind of plummeted, right?
I think I've seen some of those pages. They look fantastic.
And I talked to Wesley Wong about coloring it, and his first pass, and he did a pass at cover. And it was really nicely done. And it was these beautiful, polished comic colors. And I was like, And so I talked to him about a week and a half ago. I'm like, Wes, are you in the mood to stretch? I mean, I would really like the book to have a look. And I do not like telling someone as talented as Wesley how to do his job. I don't like that. But I wanted a vibe. And Dan's cool about the visuals. He's like, no, this is your thing. Come up with something you're happy with. And so, and Mike, you've seen some of those I posted on Instagram. I think I have. And Wesley came up with this very painterly watercolor, loose, like color outside the lines, slap the color on stuff. And I was just floored. I'm like, this is it. There's a couple tiny tweaks, but usually I've never had a colorist be like 95% there first pass. I was like, wow!
The guy's a wizard, man. I don't know. I love this stuff.
And Wesley's excited because it's easier to color, because I do so many of these insane little tweaky details. And he goes, great. I don't have to go in and flat all this shit.
Yeah.
I can just paint over the top. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when you overshoot the lines. This is fun. And so it's really energized how I'm handling stuff. So it's very
cool, man.
And man, who did we hire? We tried to get a logo done, and we couldn't find anything that got us excited. And crap, who are we hiring? My nor'easters kicked in. I'm having a hard time remembering, but we're talking like about the biggest name in comics for doing logo design you can get your hands on.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, I'm totally blanking out on him. But what we're hoping is we can hand this to him and have him go, oh, yeah, what about this? And we can be floored. So now, because I've been slow as dirt getting art done, Dan and I had a heart-to-heart, and he has unleashed Dan, the former Marvel editor, on my ass. And the first thing he talked to me about, he's like, all right, when's this going to be done? And he's on me, and then he goes with a smile, this is what editorial pressure feels like. And he says, you put yourself here. I said, you are correct. So that's where we are with.
Right. Yeah.
So I can't wait. Let's see. Hold on.
The bits I've seen look great. I think people are going to love it, man.
Let's see. Stuff like this.
Oh yeah, crazy.
Pretty cool.
Wow.
Nice.
And
They're all just throwing vehicles around like it's no big deal, Just toss a truck through the air like he's juggling an apple. No big deal.
and I'm inking all this little stuff going, Wes is going to want to kill me. But now the way he's going to color it, no, he won't. So, yeah.
Cool, man.
If I have anything else laying around, hold on. Yeah, this one had some stuff I had to fix on it. But
Oh, nice.
and here you can see like my Warren influences.
Oh yeah.
When I get in a hurry, I'm like, oh wow, that looks like an old Warren book. So anyway, just got that going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can't wait. Okay. All right, enough about me. You guys.
Stefan, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I am in such a zero fucks given relax mode because I spent the last 4 weeks on a sprint to get 6 videos done for a state of the county presentation.
Yeah, I saw you post that you're like, I've just been doing so much.
Yeah. So, like, I haven't watched anything, haven't read anything. I've got nothing to contribute right now. So, I spent most of the day getting all the surveys out for Kickstarter. Got the book put together. Got the 1 of 1 covers I got to put on there now. So,
congrats on that.
Thanks.
Congrats on the success of the campaign.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I got nothing going on, nothing exciting.
Has everyone got their covers into you on time?
Oh no, I gave you both 2 weeks. So
okay,
yeah, you just decide, But Camilo said he's gonna have it tomorrow anyway because he showed me what he had, and it's pretty much finished. He's got to color it today, so it's that whole 8 a.m. there now type thing. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I was gonna. I wanted to get mine into you just because I'm going to be away for a while, and I wasn't sure. The weather's been so crazy. If I end up going away, I might end up being away for longer than planned. So I just wanted to make sure you had it, so I wasn't stuck waiting just to scan something or whatever. But yeah.
031 Production says you can tell which panel is Mike's just by the beard poking out of the bottom left corner of the frame.
Yes, I reckon that's true, eh? Yeah. I've enjoyed just penciling again lately. I'm sorry if I'm cutting anyone off.
No, go ahead.
I've just been enjoying penciling lately. I not just to try out these pencils, but just because I forgot how much control you really have when you're penciling. Like where you give up some of that control with your ink to do different things. When you're penciling, the subtle things you can do are really kind of limitless. It's almost, I imagine, like playing a guitar or something like that. It's just I don't know. It's just been really nice to get back to trying to finish drawings with pencil rather than just normally I'm just getting the bare bones down on a page and then I go right to ink. So it's nice to actually spend some time rendering. It's relaxing. It's been good. It's been a good thing to do, I think.
Sound like Kramer talking about the Junior Mints, man. It's delicious.
I've been watching that lately. It's been such a great show, but man, that show's it's a time machine. I'm telling you, there's some stuff in that show you couldn't do now.
Watch any show 10 years older.
Oh, I know. It's just funny though. And Jerry's actually, he's just they're all really kind of terrible in their way, but Jerry is really truly a douchebag.
Oh, they're all
like it's crazy. Some of the scenes, like when he first meets the blind lineswoman from the tennis game, or sorry, the deaf woman, and there's another deaf joke that's happening in the story as well. But he's standing there calling out this woman, but she's not responding to him because he doesn't know that she's deaf, and he's just Then he starts immediately. His turns like, "Oh, what? You're too good to talk to me, eh? Oh, he immediately turns into this like total asshole, and she can't hear a word of it because she's deaf. But his transition in that scene is just like he goes from being Jerry Seinfeld to this is total dick. That if you saw someone acting like that in public, you'd knock their teeth out. You know what I mean?
The character that really began bothering me was John Costanza, because initially he was this kind of funny guy where nothing went his way.
Hmm.
And then he evolved into
Wait, real quick. Sorry. Who?
Is it Costanza?
George?
Is it George?
Okay.
You said John. I'm like, is that his
Yeah,
dad or
I'm
something?
sorry.
Yeah, I got confused too.
Yeah, I liked Costanza's character because he was like, damn, his luck just sucked. And then he just devolved into this raging a-hole.
He's wretched. He's horrible. Yeah, he's a terrible person. Like, oh yeah.
Any sympathy I originally started with that guy, I was like, no, I'm not. I don't like this guy anymore.
Yeah, he's just disgusting. The ass kissing is just over the top, and it's it's unreal. Yeah, it's such a good show. It's really such a brilliant show. It's been nice watching it again. It's been another thing we got to binge on. You can only go through The Office and Parks and Rec so many times. But
I have not hit that so many times level.
Oh no, I haven't hit it either. But it's both are quite fresh still. So so we're just changing the tune a little bit.
Yeah,
we're gonna get caught up on some other stuff too that we've been missing. But yeah, spoiled by good TV a lot of the time. There's a lot of good stuff now.
Really? Please tell me, because I'm not.
Well, I'm mostly watching stuff that like I either missed that was good. I'm trying to think of what are we watching these. Well, just what's an example?
Although I do have a new show that I watched that I enjoyed, and I was really hoping either I was going to love it or hate it. Animal Control with Joe McHale.
Oh,
I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah,
was that really good? I haven't checked it out.
It's pretty solid. Like the first one's a little rough because they're trying to introduce too many characters in that pilot episode. But by the second episode, it's got legs already. But I'm telling you, if fucking werewolves show up at the season ender, my lawyers will too. Oh, I was like, that's like way too close to some of the jokes.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's actually pretty funny. I laughed out loud several times.
Oh, cool. I like Joel McHale, so
yeah, and he's being Joel McHale. I mean, he's
okay.
Yeah, that confident, sarcastic fucks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the guy they got playing his sidekick in the show is pretty much like Diet Andy Samberg.
Okay.
He looks a lot like Andy Samberg. He acts a lot like Andy Samberg. So yeah, it's like they just couldn't afford Andy, so they went, "Hey, let's get this guy."
Yeah. We always call that the junior. Like Eric, there's this one actor, I can't remember who he is now, but every time we saw him show up in a movie, Erica would be like, "Oh, look, it's Tom Cruise Jr." Couldn't afford Tom Cruise. Needed a smarmy looking, dark-haired, little wiry little villain guy, and yeah, couldn't get Tom Cruise. Let's get Tom Cruise Jr. Yeah. No idea who the poor actor's name actually is. I don't really care, but it was it was just kind of funny.
Philip and Kasha, they used to have I forget his name too, but he was in like the American Pie movies, but he was like the Diet Keanu Reeves. Chris something, I think.
I know you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, he just had that same type of.
He does. Yeah, he had that the clean cut.
Keanu. Yeah. Keanu. Yeah, clean Keanu Reeves, not current John Wick, dirty ass Keanu Reeves.
Like Johnny Mnemonic style.
Yeah.
I seen that movie back in the day.
I remember
so bad, but I love it.
It's good. I mean, yeah, it's not great, but man, I'll watch that anytime.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen that one.
oh, it's so
They, like,
good.
when I walked out
Dolph
of there,
Lundgren's in it.
huh?
Go ahead.
No, I think we were about to say the same thing. You were talking about Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren.
I didn't realize
plays
until
himself.
I walked out of the movie theater, and I was like, "Oh shit, that was Dolph Lundgren."
Wait a minute, he's in that movie?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
plays
it's so
this
good.
like zealot priest that's anti-tech, but he's all teched out as well. So,
But yeah, he's like a super robot. Yeah, bounty hunter. He's like a priest bounty hunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a talking-
Philip chimed in. Is Chris Klein is who I was talking about.
Chris Klein. Yeah.
But he see, he's a data courier type thing. They drop so much information in the brain, and then he couriers it to another spot. It's like the only safe way of doing it. But of course, it's not safe because everyone's hunting him down. So, and then
Dana, what's her name's in it? Ice-T's in it.
Yep. Well, I mean,
Henry
it
Rollins.
was an action movie in the '90s. Of course, Ice-T is going to be in it.
Henry
Ghosts
Rollins
of
is in it
Mars.
for a little bit. He wasn't.
No,
in
that's
that one.
Ice Cube.
That's
Sorry, I
Ice-T.
get my ice cream up.
You hear ice rappers mixed up. I get it.
Huh, sorry. Oh man.
Which Leprechaun movie was Ice-T in? Was that the space one?
Space Leprechaun.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you. Hey, Ice-T had it right, man. It's like, if that check clears, I'll do it.
Oh, absolutely,
He was in
absolutely.
that space one.
Yeah, I think it was the space. He was in one of the Leprechauns.
It's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Hang on a second, but I'm pretty sure it was the space one.
That's the one where he like grows giant, right? He turns into like a giant leprechaun in it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Who's the
man!
world's tallest midget?
Wow.
Well, it was like, was it Endgame? Where Peter Dinklage was a dwarf, but he's a giant dwarf.
Yeah, I thought that was
Oh
great.
yeah, Peter
Yeah.
Dinklage. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It was Leprechaun in the Hood, where Ice-T was Matt.
Leprechaun in the Hood. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. They just put Leprechaun everywhere. But Leprechaun in
Yeah, it was
space.
great.
They were like the Ernest movies, man. Just like flying out with Leprechaun movies. They
Was
should have
it?
had a Leprechaun and Ernest crossover.
That would have been good.
They did Scared Stupid, which was like a troll movie.
Oh
Yeah, I was
right,
about to
yeah,
say,
yeah.
they got as close as they could.
The Kyoto Brothers did the costume show.
So we need Leprechaun to go up against Chucky. Because, be about like the same height for the fight. My money's on Chucky, though.
Oh yeah, Chucky.
Oh
was
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on how much Warwick Davis cost.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, he did the Willow series, so I'm guessing he ain't costing much.
I never watched. I watched like 2 episodes, and I kind of checked out.
Yeah,
That's not that I don't want to see it. I've had so much other stuff going on.
No, your
Yeah.
subconscious is protecting you. You don't want to see it. You just don't realize it.
That's what I'm starting to think.
Has anybody watched The Last of Us?
I've seen like the first 3 episodes, and I need to catch up on the rest. But
That one
maybe-
worth
I haven't seen the most recent one.
Yeah, I haven't jumped in yet because
I heard it's great, man. I haven't seen it. I didn't play the video game or anything, but everything about it I hear is awesome, and I like everyone I've seen who's involved with it. So I'm sure it'll be good. I don't get that channel though. I think it's on Crave up here, but
Oh, is that where it is?
I've already got enough stuff going on. I like between Netflix and like Apple TV and stuff. I got to pick and choose my battles. So I'll catch it eventually.
Yeah,
All that stuff adds up before you know it.
Yes, it does.
I'm spending how much on television? I barely watch. What?
Yeah,
Because I can't watch anything when I'm drawing. Music is about the best as I can do. I'd love to sit and watch movies while I draw, but I just can't focus. I can't problem solve. Comics is all problem solving, and I can't focus when I got visual distractions. But yeah, so I'm probably spending too much on my television entertainment right now, as it is for as much as I get to watch stuff.
I'm kind of when I'm inking, because inking is such like an autonomic process.
Hmm.
I have to have something going to occupy half my brain, or
Right.
else I'll get bored, and any bright shiny object will lead me away.
I'm the same.
And so what I have to do is I have to run movies in the background that I've already seen.
I got you. Yeah, I
I
got
have
you.
not seen them. I will turn around and start watching them. But I couldn't, and I tend to gravitate towards like John Carpenter movies, things like that.
Yep.
And I have so many movies that I've heard like 50 times that I'm gonna have to sit down and watch them again because I'm having a problem remembering what they look like.
Yeah.
No.
There's a couple of movies like that. Like I can throw Conan the Barbarian on anytime, and I don't have to watch it to I recite that whole movie, things like that.
Yeah,
But I love to watch those so much that I actually just love to watch them. Like I can't like I've got the Thundar disc. Barry Chapman. I don't know if Barry's watching right now, but Barry's a solid dude out in Nova Scotia there, and he as a gift he sent me a Blu-ray of the Thundar series.
Nice.
I super stoked about that, and I haven't had a chance to sit and watch him because I've been so busy drawing. But even that, I can't put it on while I'm working because I want to watch it. It's so great.
I'm jealous you got the Blu-ray because I'm sitting here with my DVDs like a chump.
Well, I had the DVDs. Erica got me the DVDs about five or 10 years ago, and I lost my mind. But they were actually bootleg. They were just really high-end, well-produced bootlegs because. Even had like a great like landing page and like a menu and everything. Like everything looked legit. The packaging looked legit. But as soon as we fired it up, the quality of the actual images, like the actual show, wasn't great. And you could see the Teletoon logo or the whatever it was in the bottom corner. And I was like, God damn it! And like, thankfully, she didn't spend a fortune on it, but. I lost my mind. Like the point of the gift was still well delivered. I watched it a million times, but I didn't care because I hadn't seen these things since like 1982. So I was losing it to watch them again. It was amazing. I love that show.
Yeah.
So, yeah. When Dodge is done, I'm gonna take some quiet time and watch the whole thing through again. One of our viewers hooked me up with 5 copies of the stone textured gargoyle covers. So
nice.
Pretty excited about having those again because I've only had the purple ones and they're really tricky to draw on. But I got some more of the stone texture ones now, so I'll be doing some more gargoyle stuff coming up soon. My auctions and
Nice.
stuff.
Those always look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of what you were saying to Barry, I was going to follow up. He sent me the DVDs for Automan.
Automan.
Yeah, because it's like, I forget.
Is that
like,
where he turns into a car?
Yeah.
No.
Is that
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, it's from the makers of Tron. So yeah, when he turns into a car, yeah. But it came out like the same year as Manimal did. And I was like so into both those shows, but because I didn't realize until I started watching this that it's Desi Arnett Jr. It's Lucille Ball's kid, who's the lead, the FBI agent.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. It was like one of the only things he ever did, I guess. But acting wise, in front of the camera. But yeah, it was. I mean, just like nostalgia heaven. It was.
Oh yeah.
I watched. It's like, oh, why did this not get more than one season? Oh yeah, that's why I didn't get one. But still, I should have gotten more than one season.
Oh God, it's finally over.
Am I managing to keep this reasonably on screen here?
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know.
All right.
If you're off.
All right.
Oh, look at that Swamp Thing face getting carved out there. Boom.
Whap. Whap.
Crazy. Look at that. Boom.
What size is everyone's art tonight? What are you working on, Mike? What size board are you working on?
This is just a 9x12 of the Strathmore tan paper, which I like drawing on. Turns out it's nice to pencil on too. So I'm gonna do this one. What time is it now? 8:20. I'm gonna try to do this and then another one. I think. And
I love the facial expression there.
oh, thanks. He's fun to draw. I'd love to do one of those Turtles and Usagi covers. That's.
I was going to ask it if you got on one of those.
No, man. I wish. I'm not on nothing. I'm in tumbleweed land right now, man. But that's okay. I got Dodge to work on, so everything happens for a reason. If things are quiet now, it's because the universe wants me to finish Dodge, and that's what I'm going to do. So
Right.
Well, they want you to finish Dodge so you can get on the book that I want to work. Carl, what about you? Are you 11x17, or you got some weird cut that you made this week?
Have I got any what?
What size paper are you working on?
Oh, this is what do I got? Hold on, let's hold this up here. 12x18. And I'm doing a live image size of the old comic size of 10x15.
Nice.
So
Old school.
working on breaking my balls and doing a large piece of art. So
well, you come on once a season, so by the time the season's over, you should be done.
Hey.
What about you, Jason? What are you doing tonight?
I'm going 11x17, so we'll see.
All right. Chris, what about you? You 11x17, 9x12. What do you got?
I got 9x12 today.
While everybody pauses to concentrate.
Yeah. I picked the wrong time to continue drinking, I guess.
There you go. Oh, okay.
Oh, thanks. 031 Productions. He posted a stream of a few of his streamer Discord. I'm assuming 031 Productions is Daniel, but yeah. Gotta get confirmation. He's trying. Yeah, Mike. He said he's trying to get his viewers to come peer pressure you into playing D&D with us. Yeah, it's definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, we need a barbarian in the group, man.
Yeah. God, it's been so long. Crazy long time. Yeah, I'm gonna be a different person when Dodge is over. I'll be able to participate in more things. I just try to keep my I gotta try to keep my horizons clear at the moment, just because I can't commit to something like D&D. I'd want to play it regularly. I haven't committed to something like that.
Every other week, it allows you to just let your brain go numb.
True.
Yeah, and it's good. It's a good reset, pal. I'm the one doing the work. Y'all just get to come there and destroy it.
That's true. That's true, actually.
Because that does seem to be their main plan. Because is this our 5th session? And they still haven't gotten to the first town they're supposed to get to. Yes, we had a shopping montage episode, pretty much. We got into the one town and everyone went shopping, and that pretty much took like the whole.
Oh, look at this scabbard!
Yep.
They have elven boots now.
Yeah, Alicia, no plan has been drafted yet at all. That's it. Oh no, this isn't Dan. This is Doug.
Doug. Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be Doug.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool. Oh, Doug, I need to chat with you about the TMNT tabletop because
Yeah, man, he was telling me about that when I saw him at Fredericton, or was it Halcon? Fredericton or Halcon or both? He's listening and probably laughing right now. Anyway, hey
probably,
Doug.
yeah.
Yeah, no, Doug. The game sounds incredible, and he seems to have a really cool kind of system. I don't want to do a butcher's job of describing it, but he does stuff that's kind of it's like the Turtles one. You know, you can kind of be rewarded or whatever with having catchphrase type stuff from the show, or having
Yeah.
having kind of nostalgia bomb type stuff like that injected into your gameplay that works out to points or things you can spend on the game or whatever. Again, I apologize to Doug, but it sounds awesome. He's invited Hugh and I to be a part of it, and I know Justin Cooper from the Epic Shells podcast. I know he plays.
Yeah, Cooper's. Yeah, say Doug, if you got an open spot, let me know. See,
Yeah.
do they do it online? I'm assuming then, right?
I'm guessing so. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But the way he was describing it, it sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, because I've got the character sheet now for Roll20 I gotta load it up and I'm gonna test it with Rob hopefully this week now to see if it's gonna work. But I base it off the original RPG, so I don't have a new. I don't know if Doug made a new system or not.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you got to get. Yeah, you should pick a game like do theirs, do ours, or whoever. But yeah, if it's once a month, just give yourself a chance to let your brain go loose.
I always found D&D and stuff like that was such a great creative outlet. I'll probably have to sketch the whole time, but that's okay. But yeah, no, I do miss it. I played the same character for a long time and got really attached to the character, and it ended up being, kind of being a part of all the different little fictions that you have in your life. Different role playing games you carry over into in a different format or whatever, and it was always kind of fun to have that. And I miss that. I miss that building a world around a character kind of thing. Well, you kind of do that with Dodge, but when you're making your own comic. But yeah, I got some ideas for stuff I want to do. It'll be sword and sorcery based for sure, monster fighting kind of stuff that I want to do.
Nordic based mythos.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you were talking about the system where you get awards for having the nostalgia bombs. So we're doing something similar. Indeed, we took a page out of the Dungeons and Daddies playbook where they had the inspiration, like when they were doing dad jokes. But we have it where if you come in with a joke, you get inspiration. But if you try too hard, and it's obvious you're trying too hard, you get desperation, and that gives me as the DM the extra advantage over the characters. So it's been pretty good. We've had fun. Yeah, Dungeons and Daddies is great. Yeah, anybody who's not listening to that podcast, I recommend it. And it was recommended to me by 2 people. It took 2 people to finally get me to listen to it, but.
And what's the podcast about? It's
Dungeons and Daddies. It's a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons, but they're playing a group of dads from our world that get pulled into the Forgotten Realms.
Oh, that's cool.
I love it.
Yeah, and
that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then they're Jason, your phone just flipped. You got the split screen going on.
Because it died.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, whoopsie. But yeah, and then the second season they play their grandkids that are going to save the original daddies. Or no, they're saving their dads because the original dads basically torched our world by doing something. So
but
it's pretty cool. And they have all these Like if you're the page, they have all these offshoot ones where like they did uh, Call of Cthulhu game. It's just, I mean, they're man, I just blanked on the name of the YouTube channel. They got the one main guy created. Man, Philip, jump in here, man. Tell me remind me who it was. But the guy is a DM is actually one of the writers from Borderlands 2, the game.
Oh, cool.
He was actually the lead writer of Borderlands 2, which is, story wise, one of the best games ever done. Rocket Jump, thank you. The Rocket Jump YouTube channel. They also did like high school, but yeah, so it's like a lot of them, and it's improv-ish, we'd say, but they're funny enough that they can, make the jokes work.
That's cool.
Dimension. Oh, so Doug saying check out Dimension 20 Fantasy High if you haven't yet. I have not. I think D&D makes the Breakfast Club. Video game high school. Thank you. That's what it was. Man.
When you're saying Philip, you mean Philip Jean-Pierre?
Oh no, my buddy Philip Baldwin lives. No, buddy here. But he's in our D&D campaign. But he was the first person to recommend Dungeons and Daddies, and I just never got into it. And then when Dan said it, was like, fine. If two people are saying I gotta listen to it, I gotta try to.
Cool. Oh my goodness! Right here.
Oh, okay, so Dimension 20 is old college humor stuff. Got it. As in their staff. Sorry. Oh yeah, and Murray chose to do a Magic tournament.
Oh, today?
Yeah, so that'll reflect in Monday's campaign, Murray. Murray's rolling at disadvantage all Monday.
Here comes the eels, Murray.
That's right. It's because I am the DM. That's why.
Helmet eels for you.
Chris, Rob's asking if you're doing an homage cover. I don't think you're just doing it tonight.
No, I was just doing a raft cornered in an alley kind of thing. Does it look like something from another one? Because I don't remember. I'm usually pretty good with
it. Raft in a corner surrounded by foot ninja, that could be any book
it's
panel.
Typical raft.
Yeah, exactly. That could be any given
typical
day.
Raft.
Yeah.
Trying to be on his own and usually getting beat up a lot.
So Jason, what's the art behind you? I can see Bounty Hunter Bullfrog. What's the one right over your left shoulder? All right, go through them all.
So I got the two bounty pieces from Jim Lawson, the incredible Jim Lawson, and then this is my Simon Bisley that I own. The one Simon Bisley page I have from some heavy metal book he worked on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot the name of it.
It looks a bit like Slain from here, but I don't
know.
No,
he almost has that Slain look. It just says Simon Mash page something.
Oh.
But it's a double page spread, but this is there's 6 panels on the bottom of the double page spread,
right?
And these are 6 panels. So I'm assuming he did the main double page splash on another bigger page or something.
Oh,
so
okay, I got you.
It's cool to see how he works and does different things, but the detail in this page is just
yeah, man, he's out of control.
mouth melting. Yeah. But yeah, this guy was he had wrote it with and had Bisley draw it, and I was at C2E2 probably about 10 years ago, and the guy was just like down my aisle in Artist Alley. He was, selling the book, and I was like flipping through his stuff, and he literally had like maybe 30, 40 pages of Simon Bisley art, and they were like $50, $60 a piece. And I was like, huh?
What?
What? This is
Wow.
for real? So I
What?
picked out
Did you say
my two
150 a piece?
they were $50 each to $60. Yeah.
God.
I think I paid like $50-$60 for that, and then I got my buddy a birthday gift. That was another page that it's literally maybe the equivalent of one of the panels, but it's like down in the corner, and it's just the character with this girl. And so they're super tiny, and then the rest is all, I don't know why he did it, but he ink washed the entire rest of the page for no reason. Like instead of just like letting it be edited in that way or something. But he's like,
maybe, yeah. Trying to find something here.
I remember being at a convention in the 90s, and there were these two young guys, and they were looking at posters, and they pulled out a Frazetta poster. And they were standing there, and they were stunned, and they said, "This guy paints like the Biz." And I had to pause, and I said, "No,
Yeah.
the Biz paints like Frank."
Yep.
well,
Absolutely.
the fun for me is like I grew up knowing nothing but Bisley for me for the longest time, and then getting to like go backwards, and you're seeing the people that you love's influences. So you're seeing the Frazetta and the Corbin and all these other people, or like loving Kelly Jones, and then finding out that he's a big Bernie Wrightson fan, and then going,
Yeah.
who's Bernie Wrightson, and then diving in and going, whoa, this is Bernie Wrightson, like this is insane, or this is Jack Davis, and like, so you're like diving into all these people that influenced them, and just it's almost like getting a second helping of your favorite artists.
Oh,
just
yeah.
because you're seeing where they took their inspiration.
Stefan, I just sent you something that I got from my commission from Simon Bisley. I don't know. It's probably too rude to share.
Yeah.
But,
no, it's not too rude to share.
I finally got a commission from Simon Bisley, and anyway, you can put it up on screen if you want.
Oh, fuck you. You and Carl both?
I
mean,
no, never mind. Then it's okay. I don't have any other.
We import assets before the show starts in order to put them on air.
Hold on, let me see if I can do it here. Hang on a sec here. So I asked him for a commission many times. I'd always see him at shows, and he finally obliged. I asked him for a Slane. And I came back to my desk, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I got your Slane. Yeah, there it is." His face down on my desk, and he's sitting there with a shit-eating grin on his face. And I don't know what's waiting for me when I turn this piece of paper over. I don't know how well it'll show up from my phone on the camera, but let's just see here.
There it is. Oh, pull it back just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah, get the focus.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, I gotta get it kind of.
Yeah, you're too close to the camera for the focus. Put it down. Yeah, right there. There you go.
Yep. It says, "Thanks for the commission." He was all proud. He goes, "Yeah, I put the red bit on there," and I'm like, "Yes, thanks for the red bit, Simon." But yes, 11 by 17, gigantic, disgusting penis drawn by Simon Bisley. I'll treasure it forever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Simon's such a subtle guy.
Yeah. Man, I missed him. I missed him at a bunch of shows. I was really hoping I could go to WickedCon, and because he's going to be there. And I missed him recently at another show, and maybe he's going to be in Montreal. Maybe I'll get to see him in Montreal, but haven't seen him now in a long time. He's always a lot of fun.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah. I love this. Rob Denner hooked me up with this when I met him at Granite. I'm trying to think if I can find it now. I thought I had it handy. I just love this. Hold on now. Where is it? Yeah, Rob picked one of these up for me, man, and I was over the moon. Now I gotta find it because I've hyped it up now. Come on.
Rob said it's not body count, it's boner count. Okay. We're working blue tonight, folks.
Where is it? Oh, I must have tucked it back here. Got it? Nope. Yeah. This is the best. Simon Bisley's Last Ronin cover.
Oh, wow.
I almost got that poster. He had a bunch of posters, but yeah, that cover is beautiful.
He had a poster of this?
Yeah, I love my 17.
Man, I asked them to let me do a poster of my cover, and they wouldn't let me. They're like, no, we can't permit that. And I'm like, really? I guess I should never have asked. I should have just done it because it's not like they would
Yeah.
after I did it. Now they know I want to do it, so now I can't do it. But I would have made posters of all my stuff because I only ever got a few copies of the different things that I did for Ronin. So, it'd be nice to be able to sell prints of the artwork. But yeah, anyway. I asked for permission and they said no, and I'm a good boy. So we Canadians follow the rules, usually right to our own grave. So I don't know.
Yeah, that cover is beautiful.
Yeah, he killed it.
I opted for the body count. He had a body count like collage piece.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I know exactly where it is.
They also DC also reprinted the last Zarnian issue 1 with a new fresh cover, and they also did blanks. And I've been bugging Bob Shaw for since I saw him at Granite to hook me up with a cover or two because it's the exact reprint of last Zarnian #1, but with the Lobo logo on a blank cover. And the DC blanks are always nice to draw on. They've always been good. So I'd love to get my hands on a couple of those.
Is that showing up at all?
Yeah, is that the poster?
That's the insanity of his body count.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think it was for a trade or something at one point.
That's wicked.
But,
I love his take on Casey Jones too.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, I'm gonna call this one done.
Yeah, on my other wall, I have a Jeff Darrow.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah.
It blew my mind. He was at C2E2 one year, and he was doing like a deal where you would get he just had like a ton of these drawings just laying out on a table, and then it was like $75. You got this, and you got a copy of like the hardcover edition that Dark Horse put out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
So I was like,
Yes, please.
Yeah, really.
It's like that poker face where you're like, am I getting a deal here? Like, is this real? Like, are you really Jeff Darrow? Like,
yeah.
And then I got like a Kyle Hotz Ninja Turtle.
Oh, nice. He's great.
Yeah, I've got an Evil Ernie page that him and Tim Bradstreet inked. And then I've got a Lieber Mayo page from Wildcats.
Oh,
yeah. Lovely.
I'm embarrassed. I don't have anything laying around.
no.
And I have a Jason Sean Alexander Batman
Oh, that's wicked.
that I got from him probably about 15 years ago.
Well, yeah, I haven't added to my art collection in a while, but I got some nice pieces from different. I got one page of Spider-Man of Marco Rudy's Spider-Man, the one with the 100 villains that he did years ago, which was really, really cool stuff. And I have a Mike Grell Green Arrow, not a page, but a drawing, and I have he drew it for me in 10 minutes and ripped my mind out of its just freehand with a pen. Like, God damn it. Anyway, yeah, I got some pretty nice ones, man. I'm trying to think of some that really stand out. I got a John Byrne, Ben Grimm versus Blastar, which it doesn't get better than that. So that's something I want to get a nicer frame for, but that's something I've had since my 40th birthday, and it's probably the coolest piece of artwork that I own. But I own a lot of nice pieces of just, I used to collect drawings of Blastar. I still do when I can. So I try to get a Blastar or a Thundra every time I go to a show.
Yeah, I wish I could collect more art.
Yeah.
So I got to do you a Blastar when I get to Canada then.
Oh, you do. Absolutely. I'd love to have a Blastar. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or a Thunder. You'd probably you draw amazing women too. You'd probably do an awesome Thundra. Could draw them both, beating up the thing. I wouldn't mind.
A little background.
Yeah, add a couple of make it in the Baxter building. Fantastic car crashed in the corner. Johnny is tied up. With a noose made out of reed, and
What?
Make it crazy. Get crazy. All right. The stippling ends now. Stippling time is over. All right.
Alicia says she has a Carl Waller the pound page, so she wins.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
She's slumming. She's slumming and bragging about it. Thanks, Alicia.
That picture you posted, the memory. What convention was that at?
Oh, that was that dog shit one Image put together a couple. Whenever that was. Yeah, I forget. There was a con in.
Oh yeah, like the Image Expo.
It was like an Image.
Yeah,
Image.
Yeah, it was Image Expo. It's complete dog shit because they said that they weren't going to be putting Image front and center. Blah blah, and they went against everything they said that they weren't going to do. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. So it'd be everybody who wasn't Image had just an absolute shit show, and to the point where they were crediting people money back because.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
wow.
Because people were putting them on blast for it big time. Showing pictures of the con the way everybody else was buried, Yeah, it was horrible. All the promotional material didn't say hardly anything about non-Image things there.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that being a show.
It was there. It was
It was 2013-ish or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Huh.
But yeah. So like I said, I had a good time with some friends, but yeah, it was the show itself was just awful.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it was. Oh, you know what it was? It was there was a show there, but they moved it. It was one of the WonderCon or something, but they ended up moving to Anaheim.
Okay.
So there was no show anymore in San Francisco area. So that's why they decided to try to take over. And you can see how well it does because it's on its 13th year.
Sorry, my phone got really hot, and so I'm letting it kind of charge and cool down at the same time, so it doesn't explode in my face.
Yeah. Phones will do that when you're streaming.
That's why I had Stefan walk me through the whole camera thing. So.
And I've never regretted doing that once.
That's right.
All right, let's see.
As I do my let's grab the brush and do the Mike Ruth thing. Yes.
That solid black stuff you do is just crazy.
Man, the ink is fighting me tonight. I don't know what's going on, but it's like watercolor, and I don't know the deal because I was inking with this shit yesterday, and it was great, and I don't know the paper I grabbed or what. But dang, yeah,
the paper can be such a huge part of the decision making. I've regretted some of the choices I've made. You're like, I'm gonna ink this, then you go, oh, this paper's garbage. Like, I actually had that just doing a penciling the other day of a sketch cover. There's I can't remember what one it was. Oh, it was a Hulk cover that I did a couple weeks ago. It was really hard to pencil on because the surface was really like, it was kind of a slick surface, but it was a case where like you'd lay the pencil down and then it would just be sitting there. Like, you'd have to move, you have to almost work like a surgeon and like put stuff down and then like cover it as you go, because it was just going to otherwise be a big smeary mess, like nuts.
Oh.
Whereas some paper will hold on to the graphite and really trap it. You'll get a little bit of smudge if you go in there and try to smudge it, but for the most part, it's locked in. Oh.
Oh, what is it?
It's because your phone's was picking up the speaker. I didn't get. Do it again. I'll mute that line.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Did I do that? Sorry, go back to where you're saying. Awful paper.
Oh, yeah, no, it was just awful to pencil on. That's all. It was. Yeah, you find out too late. Like, I was setting out to do the pencil work on that one, but if I just switched to ink, it might have turned out better. Just because the surface was one that would have been repellent to ink too, but it was really bad for pencil, which is just so weird. Like, if you can't even get pencils to stick to it, then holy shit! Like, what are they thinking? Some of the substrates they make for these things.
You good?
Yeah,
awesome.
All good, bud.
So has anybody here been having any materials issues in the last like year and a half?
Like trying to find stuff?
Or no, like paper not working right, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a lack of quality and stuff. I've noticed. You mentioned the other day we were chatting about pencils, and because that's what Carl and I do. We talk about pencils and stuff in our free time. But we had these blue. We were talking about these blue and red Prismacolors, and like I have an old set that I've been using that have been working fine. But he was like, I'm finding the red's not really good, like the blue. Well, I find with these blue ones, I can't even see it when I put it down. Like, it's so non-copy blue that it is non-copy nothing. Like, you can't see anything. Like, I'm like scrubbing to try to get a line onto the page, and yeah. Really, really weird stuff to sketch with that used to be, visible, but not, not too harsh. But this is like, you can't even see it when you put it down. It's really weird.
It's been really strange. Like, everything just suddenly not, for like 30 years, I could walk into the art store and go, yeah, I need this kind of paper, and walk up, pick it up, and I can count on it to behave a certain way. And all of a sudden, it's like, what did everybody do to this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
They made it more expensive, cheaper quality.
Yeah, it's like, the Windsor Newton Series 7 that everyone freaks out about, as being the greatest thing. Like I love them. I thought they were great, but I've had people tell me who've used them for years that they're nowhere near what they used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be a way, way better brush, but they became so popular that they just found a cheaper way to make them. And when they used to be a very specific kind of sable that was used, it was all very, they were the Queen's brushes. They were very, very serious brushes. But yeah, they ended up becoming the industry standard. That Winsor and Newton Series 7 #2 being like the ultimate inking thing of all time. But I actually find the Princeton brushes and the Raphael brushes are just as good or better, and they're more affordable. That's the only supply issue I've really had up here is getting sable brushes. There's been weird stuff around that because of the scarcity of the animal from Russia that they make the brushes out of.
Yeah, when Putin pulled the trigger,
Yeah.
started working on getting the band back together. First thing I did was spend about $400 getting a stack of these Scharf brushes that I like to
Yeah,
use.
the sharp ones that you like. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm going to be giving them a try soon too. I want to kind of stock up on some of that stuff because it's not getting any cheaper either. My God, I couldn't believe the cost of some
I
of the
was
art supplies.
I was just wondering if I'm going to be able to get hold of it,
Yeah,
because the the sable, what do they get? This is Russian stuff. I'm like, I better buy some, you know.
Yeah.
And the only supplier I could find is a small, like little dealer in Georgia,
hmm
and I ordered it from him direct. And I mean, I got a bunch of them.
Dick licks?
And even everything I run from like number 3 to number 6.
hmm
And even among those, the quality varies enough to where I'd say a third of those are kind of unusable to me.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I used to know that I could pick one of those off the shelf or something and it would work every time. And now it's kind of not. And I don't know if my perception is off or just the quality of the tool is not there. So,
Huh.
and get off of my yard. Oh,
I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys.
don't make them like they used to. Kind of don't. Damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably the quality of them.
And I remember for a while, and this was a long time ago, the Winsor Newton brushes dropped way off. And I finally heard that it was because, like, all the old toothless British dudes who actually assembled them by hand retired. And so you had this thing where the new guys, they weren't up to snuff yet. And it took them a while. And apparently they're still not up to snuff. So that's too bad. Yeah. The particular ink that I like to use is getting really difficult to find. I have to order it.
What ink is that?
What do you use?
And it's because everything's got varnish in it. This ink is water based, and in my opinion, the varnish beats the crap out of your brushes, which I want to last a long time. And also, when I go to put whiteout in it, it repels the whiteout.
Hmm.
Well, the simplest thing would be not to make the mistakes, right?
Well, I am no longer there, man.
But sometimes you need that whiteout to create that grit or like some negative space on a
Yep,
piece.
that's it.
And it yeah, my brushes, I have to like really rinse them off, or they're gonna be really messed up if I don't. I'm using like white ink, acrylic ink.
Do you use more?
There's something about the line quality when you go lay into stuff with white that is different than when you try and do negative space with black ink.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, like the last 5% of something I work on is all those little tweaks with the white, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big deal to me. A big deal.
Jason, do you use more brushes or markers? You know, what's your primary?
I've tried the whole marker thing. Like for a long time, I was using the microns. They suck now to me. I don't know if it's because I'm heavy-handed or what it is, but I'll break a tip on those metal little cheap pens immediately, and then they stop working for me. But I used like brush pens, and I tried sable brushes. I did those for about 5 or 6 years. Now I've gone back to just using like random pens, like this Tombow here, and then throwing ink on there with brush for my heavy blacks, and then going back over and kind of touching up. And I like to use like a plethora of tools now, but
and what really kills you is when you got to change tools in the middle of inking. That like wrecks your speed. You know, the project I'm working on, I got to draft a lot of stuff because it's going to be tractor trailers and cars and shit.
right.
Oh my God, you screech to this flipping halt because now I got to break out the ellipse templates. It's like, ah! Oh, if I can ink everything with a brush, that'd be golden.
You could ink with a brush doing templates, you would be a master.
I tell you what, man, I remember Tim Truman telling me that a lot of the old dudes, the DC War Comics guys,
Yeah,
they were inking tanks with brushes.
that's awesome.
And they would take their the straight edge, and they just run their fingernail on it, go and rule a line. Like, whoa, God damn you, bastard!
My buddy's just now like kind of discovering Tim Truman's work.
Yeah,
He's been like really like going back when we go to conventions together. He'll like come back with like a stack full of Truman art, and I'm just like, yeah, man. I was like, really dig all that.
Tim's writing, man, his shit is so brutal. I love it. He does these characters that are just my favorite thing to fantasize about when I met him when I was in art school was at the time he and Chuck Dixon were working on a story called Dog Soldier, and they never got to finish it. And I would have loved it because it was like a early 1900s, and it was the character was half black and I think half Cherokee, and he was going up against some sort of supernatural southwestern creature, and this thing had called up 13 dead zombie gunfighters. And Tim, in an interview, is like, "This is the most violent thing I've ever drawn." I'm like, I can't wait. And then, that never happened.
Really?
Yes, and to this day, and I think it really gets under his skin. I'm like, dude, are you ever gonna do that?
He's still around?
Truman?
Yeah.
He's working on a Scout story now.
Really?
Scout's Sons. Yes.
Huh. That's awesome.
Yeah, go to his website. He's got pages posted up, and he's just slowly noodling this together, and it's like the best Truman stuff you'll see.
Did I miss the part of the story where you're talking about how Tim Truman created Warduke?
Beauregard Leduc.
I didn't know that he created that.
Yeah, Tim did this guy. He created Warduke for D&D.
Huh.
He was the designer in the old like, I don't know if it was the accompanying comic books. I know there was a like album and stuff, like the LP that came out and stuff around the cartoon. But yeah,
I know he got his start doing stuff for TSR.
I think that's where that Warduke came from. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, his scout stuff is great. I only see pinups and stuff and covers that he posts now and then, but yeah, his drawings are unbelievable.
Yeah, he is currently producing the best Tim Truman stuff you're ever going to see.
Yeah,
he's peaking right now, so it's really neat.
Yeah, because I turned my buddy on to him and Tim Vigil.
Okay.
Tim Vigil, yeah.
And he's just like, whoa, what is this? Like, I've for years, like we were once at a show and Tim Vigil was sitting there, and I was like, you need to talk to this dude. Like, you need to look at his stuff. You need to like buy from Tim. Like this stuff is amazing. And I think he bought like some Jack the Pumpkin or something comic he had going. Of course, it's like.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna follow up on the Tim Vigil stuff, but you finish.
Oh, some gory pumpkin, X-rated book or something. But he bought it and was like put it away, and then now he's like they just re-announced the like Lost trade paperback through Kickstarter. He's doing like a hardcover edition or something. So he jumped out immediately, and he's been trying to buy the back issues, and I'm like, yeah, man, like his work is like insane.
The best Tim Vigil inks you're gonna find are on a project he didn't go for very far. It was called IO.
Yep.
And it's odd, and it's believe it or not, the most violent thing I've ever seen him draw. But his inks on it, it's like
that says a lot for Vigil too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But his inks were absolutely spectacular.
It's called IO.
Yep. And the amount of blood in that story.
Yeah, he doesn't. I always thought he was British. I don't know why, and I actually embarrassed myself horribly once on a Twitter conversation. I don't know why I had it in my head that he was British. I think it was because I saw him working. I think did he do something with Warren Ellis or one of those guys? I'm trying to remember what it was, but there was something where he was affiliated by, or with, or being promoted by a guy who I know is British. And I thought, I just assumed, not knowing, just the early days of internet, not knowing that the guy was, American. I don't know why I assumed he was English, and I made some stupid comment on Twitter about it, and just looked like a fucking jackass. But anyway, his work was just I'm just coming clean about that now. But yeah, his work was always so cool. That he did that Faust stuff, right?
Yep.
Yes.
The early days, which was just so mental. God.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
They did a Kickstarter campaign for like a limited edition hardcover, and like they were only going to print so many. I think it's like 7,500 or something, and when they're out, they're out. And I think they sold out of it.
Crazy. Yeah, I got him to do a cover for us for our first anthology, ATP Presents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got the art for it too.
Oh,
yeah, he did this really cool piece. I can't remember who got me in contact with him, but someone I knew that knew him and asked, "Would you like a Tim Vigil cover?" I was like, "Yes, please."
Yes, I think that would. Yeah, I think his stuff is just crazy, man. I love it.
Not
He
for the
gets in
faint
so
of
much
heart.
trouble. He gets in so much trouble. People,
Oh, yeah.
like he's got so many trolls out there trying to like if you got nothing better to do to bother Tim Vigil about how porny or crazy his the analingus he draws looks. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know, man. I think his stuff is so outrageous and awesome, and he doesn't give a fuck. And you can see that he doesn't give a fuck, and that's kind of what makes it so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't let them
He's,
stop him. It does suck because like he's just now starting to post more on Instagram again, but for a while there, he moved away from it.
Well, he was tired of the bullshit. He would do
'cause
like, I remember him posting like one image, but he would do 6 like lead up, like scroll through. Like, okay, if you scrolled 5 times, you know that the next one's going to be, the money shot's coming. Like,
be prepared. Yeah,
this is on you now. You can't get mad at me about this now.
Like, I warned you.
Yeah. I don't know what this is going to be.
Yeah, I remember meeting him back in the day, like in 1996, doing conventions, doing like a little tour and getting to meet him. Hey, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was super nice. It was a little grumpy with how some people were reacting to some of his work, but he was super cool. Like I think I was literally behind him, like my booth was behind him, and I would just like look over his shoulder, just behind my table to see what he was working on, and he would just be like, "Yeah, this is what's going on," and just totally like respectful and nice to like talk to.
It's nice when that happens.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, oh my god, Tim Vigil's talking to me.
Yeah, I never want that fanboy shit to die in me.
Yeah,
it's like I got to draw the worst drawing of Superman I've ever done, that anyone's ever done in the history of the world.
I don't know. I've got a pretty bad Superman.
And I had to draw it against Tom Grummett, who arguably draws the best Superman that's ever been drawn. And he, the audience, it was left to the audience to shout out, who we'd be drawing, and it was Superman. Someone shouted out just Spider-Man running out of webs, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun." And someone else shouted Superman dressed as Wonder Woman. And, so Tom leans over to me and he goes, "Hey man, I'm just gonna draw Spider-Man, all right? I'm not fucking around. I'm just gonna draw Spider-Man." He's like, "So you draw Superman and drag." And I'm thinking, "Thanks, Tom." Superman is already the hardest character there is to draw, bar none. And then I have to sit here on stage and draw it with the guy who drew the death of Superman, and cool. And I get to draw him just as Wonder Woman. Awesome. And I placed the drawing on the page so bad that like his feet got cut off the bottom. Like total amateur hour, man.
Oh.
It was just ridiculous. Total amateur hour. Horrible anatomy. Just piss poor drawing. The only thing that kind of turned it around was at the end, I pulled out a piece of toast that I had kept in my pocket from that morning's breakfast, and I used the toast dipped in ink to create a texture in the background that looked rad as fuck. And that was the only thing that saved the drawing. But Tom drew his Spider-Man in 4.5 minutes, and it was the best Spider-Man I've ever seen. And it was just this little skinny teenage Spider-Man swinging through above the city, running out of webs. And it was just a perfect little gesture. He whipped it off in 4 minutes, and I felt like I just felt like I was sitting next to some kind of, I don't know, higher being. Superior being is the only way I could say it. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, that would be extremely intimidating.
It's always cool though. Like I'm sitting there the whole time going, God damn, I love this guy's work. Like I can't even believe I'm sitting here.
Yeah. That's what would stop me from working is just like
Well, yeah. Well, he was
Yeah,
telling these amazing stories, man. Like he was, we were talking about like, people were asking us questions like, oh, what was the best job you've done? Or what was the weirdest job you had or whatever. And he was talking about how he was doing the M&M comic book ads, how he got the gig to draw the M&M comic book ads, and how after years and years of working in comics and working for different art directors and stuff, that he's like, you ain't seen nothing until you've had to work for the people who own M&Ms.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like keeping the character on model, keeping everything, a certain way, not being able to really interject too much stuff, but still having to create a unique environment and using these existing characters, which are just M&Ms that have faces and legs and boots or whatever, and yeah, he said it was the most nightmarish fucking job he ever did. But probably one of the best paying ones too.
Oh, I bet.
As is often the case. Well, I'm very sorry to say that I haven't been able to hear anything Chris has said the entire episode. So I'm sorry.
Oh,
if
I haven't been
missed out
talking
on,
much. It's been
awesome
it's
stuff.
been
But your
drawing.
drawing's looking awesome, man.
I know you got me scared for a second. I was like, I haven't heard him either. Can I not?
No, I was getting into what I was doing, so I just kind of like zone out sometimes.
I can't hear you. But drawing was great.
This is really
when I'm
bizarre
on the
that he
show
can't
and
hear
everything.
you.
Thank you very much.
I can see
When everyone's drawing, I forget that I'm like on the show too. So sometimes it's like almost like I'm listening to a podcast or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, I can chime in. I can actually be like, yeah.
I forget as well, especially when I'm like getting into it. So
Have you guys seen the Mutant Mayhem figures?
I have seen those.
Mutant
I don't know
Mayhem
how I feel about
figures.
those.
The only figures I've seen everyone freaking out about and finding them out in the wild is the Last Ronin's action figure, but there's like a red and black one, which I saw, which was really rad. And I saw someone on the Usagi fan page post a really cool looking black and white Usagi drawing.
Oh my god, I want that one too.
That one looks so cool.
There's too many cool toys.
Is that what you were talking about? Is that part of the Mutant Madness thing or whatever you said? Or
no. So Mutant Mayhem is this Seth Rogen produced film that's coming out.
Oh,
yeah, it's coming out in August. It's more like kid oriented, but still doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I'm intrigued.
and is it Turtles stuff, like Turtles universe stuff? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's new Turtles. They showed Bebop, Rocksteady, Leatherhead.
I was shocked they put Leatherhead in the movie. I didn't expect that.
I was really excited to see that.
Yeah, I was kind of jazzed that he was going to be a mutant in that.
And there's like it says Superfly, so I'm assuming it's Baxter or some form of Baxter.
I think it's some form of
And it's sort of in the vein of these the more kitted up like Spider-Man shows, like with Ghost Spider and Miles Morales and all that.
Right.
That kind of vibe, like
animation kind of style.
Okay,
like,
cool. Right on.
Not as good as
that. Those are quite good, yeah.
Oh yeah. Into the Spider-Verse stuff is amazing.
Cannot wait for that second movie.
Yeah, the second one's gonna be awesome.
Such a unique style to
I
the
love
first
that
one.
movie. I thought it was something else. I'm not really excited about any Marvel stuff too much. I don't know if I'll ever watch the taste of that last Thor movie out, but I I I don't know. I
never saw it. Was that bad?
man, I wanted to like it. I couldn't. And yeah, I just at one point Erica just turned to me and said, "This might be the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen." I said, "Yeah." I said, I know. And it's like they bought all those Guns N' Roses songs that they had, and I don't know that it was the right vibe. They should have taken all the money they spent on the licensing of those songs, and they should have putting it into getting one 30-second dose of AC/DC's Thunderstruck, which is apparently the most expensive song in the universe to get for your movie. But they should have just put the money there and got that for that last scene, because there's just too much Guns N' Roses in that movie, and I don't know, man. I like enough. I like GNR as much as the next guy, but that was a lot of GNR in the Thor movie, Anyway.
I walked out. Linda was watching. I was sitting here drawing, working on something, and I walked out. Linda was watching it, and she just kind of gave me this look like,
Yeah, Hugh pleaded with me not to watch it. He was like, "Just don't do it. Just don't do it, man." And I'm like, "No, I kind of, I'm a completionist. I have to, I mean, how bad can it get?" He goes, "No, just don't, man. You're gonna really be sorry." And he was right. Hugh was always listen to Hugh Rookwood. Hugh knows what's up. Yeah, that was, oh man, yeah. But the less said about that, the better. But I'm just not really digging the Marvel thing too much lately. I don't know. I want to see the Ant-Man one, because actually of them all, I've enjoyed the Ant-Man movies quite a bit. Of all the
prepare not to enjoy this one, then.
Oh, really? I haven't had anything spoiled. Not that I'm really, worried about that too much, but I was hoping it was going to introduce a particular other Marvel comic that I like, but I don't. Maybe it did. I don't know. I feel like one day I'm going to get a good Fantastic Four movie. I just don't know when. It's also like thinking, one day the Leafs will win the cup, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I don't know. I'd like that to happen, but will we get a good FF movie one day? I don't know.
Sure, the Roger Corman version.
Yeah, that's true. It's not without its charm. I have to sit and watch the whole thing. I've only seen bits, but I do want to watch that. I think you can get that online, right? Or is it available on DVD?
Oh, I'm sure.
Isn't it only available? I mean, you can't even get the complete flick, right?
Just pieces of it or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's on YouTube.
I was going to say, is it on
Yep.
YouTube? Because
Yeah,
usually there's stuff on YouTube.
All right, there you go. That might be tomorrow. What am I kidding? I got to drop Dodge tomorrow.
So, Mike, do you have are you drawing Dodge every day, or are you setting specific days? Because
you know what, I've been all over the place because my schedule's been really jumpy, and I've mainly just been trying to lay it out. This one's longer. It's even longer because I added a couple extra pages of action, but there's just a lot of complex figure work in this, in terms of multiple figures in scenes and staging, that kind of stuff, which I noodle at probably a bit too much. But I've mostly just been spending the last couple of weeks, the pages that aren't drawn yet, I've just been working out in thumbnail form. Sorry, this is probably noisy. My mic's right there. Just give me a sec here. And I'm just got all these just rough thumbnail pages, really, of stuff that I've added and stuff that I'm doing. And these are really just how I kind of get started, and then I blow stuff up. And I've been drawing some of the action sequences separately, like on scrap pieces of paper, and I'm just trying to get my scenes worked out, because I have to build a bunch of sets as well. There's a couple of things that kind of tricky for me to draw. Architectural stuff that is giving me a bit of a challenge. So I'm kind of building that stuff and figuring that stuff out as well. But I want to get to the stage where I can just kind of do final pencils in the morning and then ink that page or that day kind of thing. Like I want to get into a grind where I'm just snapping out a page a day, but I'm in that build up phase where a lot of pages are assembled. A lot of pages right now are 3 pages of notes that are going to be banged together, in Photoshop to create like a template for my rough, and then I'll kind of build a drawing out of that. Just because there's some good energy in some of the rough notes that are hard to recapture drawing from scratch. So I try to keep just lots of scrap note paper around for working out, positions or layouts and things. But yeah, I've got probably the worst person to ask about how to draw comics because I still have no idea. Really. So sometimes I think I do. But yeah, it's crazy.
I keep promising to like devote certain days to working on my comic, and then when I try to do that, I've got like commission work or other work.
Oh yeah.
And then the guilt sets in, and then so like it's always nice to hear how other people go about handling it.
Well, it's
kind of get ideas and stuff.
We're very much flying by the seat of our pants here. Like my wife's also freelancing, so we've had kind of a rocky start to the year that way, where we've been kind of just piecing shit together with whatever gigs we can kind of find and slap together. She does copywriting work and design work, and so she's looking for for stuff all the time. And yeah, I've been just trying to stay focused on Dodge, but of course, I've got to keep the lights on and everything while I'm drawing that. And so I've been doing these auctions and stuff like that, and a lot of research and stuff going into what I'm drawing for this book, and the time being spent that way. And there's just a lot going on. I've also been trying to focus on my health and giving myself a couple of hours really each day where I'm focusing on exercise and just trying to move around because I have to at this point basically to keep going. And so that's been becoming a bigger part of each day. So it's certainly affecting the work schedule a little bit, but it's important stuff too. So yeah.
I guess your health's important.
Yeah, I've ignored it all these years, right? And now it's like, okay, you have to actually put this time in, and it's a big adjustment for sure. But I'm getting the results that I want, and staying out of the hospital, that's the main thing. So yeah.
Not me. I'm just feeling like hell all the time. So
yeah, well, I'm just tired of feeling like hell all the time. That's my thing. So the walking, ever since I got back from Granite, I have gone on a walk or a hike every single day.
It helps a lot.
Rain, snow, ice storm, doesn't matter. Erica and I go, and we've held ourselves accountable every day. We also do yoga every day, and we've done that every day for over 3 years now, every single day. And it's good. I'm not a yogi or anything like that. I'm certainly not in shape, but it's been really helpful for a guy who sits and draws all the time. Getting up and stretching for a dedicated half hour each day it's super important. I should probably be doing it twice a day, frankly, but it kicks the crap out of me, man. So but yeah, it's a lot of time in the chair making a comic book, man. It's going to be weird when Dodge is done. The plan after we get this issue done would be to then assemble it into a 4-issue, like a graphic novel, collecting all 4 issues, and probably I'll remaster a few pages and may recolor a few pages, a little, try a different approach on some of the colors with a few things. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a kind of a fun project that's kind of low pressure because all the work will be mostly done. And we'll probably design it.
You're going to have to fight and resist reworking it.
Oh, dude, I would redraw the entire first issue. Given the chance, I would redraw every page of it. And I would redraw a bunch of issue 2. And there's even a few pages in issue 3. I mean, you just constantly grow, and you look back and you go, ah. And it's not even that the drawing doesn't work, or it's not, it's not, it's bad, or or whatever. It's just that it could have been better, and the approach could have been more simple, because the whole thing about comics is you want to get it as simple as possible in terms of, conveying the idea and the story, but you also want to be able to get the you into the picture. You want to get the detail and the things that make it you. But it's very easy to let those things take away from the important eye movement stuff that you have to do to make a comic page successful. That's the tricky thing to learn, for sure. You treat every panel like it's a cover, and you get yourself in real problem territory.
Yeah.
And I do that all the time. And
I sent a couple of the pages I've been working on for Axles, and they were horribly overworked.
yeah.
And I had friends go, wow, the layout is this. They're very nice to me. And a buddy I've known since art school, who's no longer doing art, but he works in he does CAD.
Mm-hmm.
He designs. He does like stuff that makes my brain completely lock. He surveys shit and he designs shit. He's the guy that sets up those $50,000 machines that'll scan a bridge and it'll reconstruct the bridge in CAD down to the millimeter.
Oh wow!
Shit he does.
Jeez.
And I sent him these pages, and he went, "Yeah, you worked the shit out of this. You worked the shit out of this. This ain't working. You do a lot better when you're in a big hurry, in my opinion." I'm like, God damn it!
Jeez.
But he was right.
But where do you get that kind of honesty, man? That's that's the best shit.
He was dead on.
Yeah.
I'm like, motherfucker. Everybody else is looking at this going, and they're responding to all the pretty lines. And he's like, man, you worked this too much. Like,
oh yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's I remember doing a drawing. I had just done a Captain Canuck cover years ago, and George Freeman did the artwork on the inside, and just beautiful.
Oh, that would be intimidating.
Oh, it was beautiful work, and it was new work. It was new work, and it was so good. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, so anyway, I did the cover for it. And of course, I noodled the shit out of it. I did a nice gesture of, dynamic looking Captain Canuck flying through the air, smashing through glass kind of thing. But I probably just tried to, I over noodled it. I overworked it. And Steve Rude was at this show in Buffalo where I had the stuff. And Steve Rude walked by and very nice, introduced himself. And he sat down and he was just like, huh. And he pulled the artwork out, and he put a piece of paper over top, and he just started to draw with this red pencil crayon, and just drew this amazing shit. And basically took my drawing and in about 4 or 5 stick lines, did this simple whipped up version of the gesture, which was exactly everything I had drawn, only where I had wasted time putting in, articulating the shape of different muscles or, different things like that. He just got this beautiful flow and figure and form and motion just dropped in. Exactly the same pose, only his, even its rudimentary sketchy form, was 10 times more powerful than what I had done. And he was showing me, just like the way he draws figures and how things are so fluid, like everything's constantly fluid, and everyone basically looks like one of those, wacky balloon, inflatable balloon men guys, like the way he draws, everything's all big bean shapes and fluid stuff. And then he starts to carve into it, and it was just incredible. And so, yeah, and I've tried to rethink about everything I draw ever since that day, because
I gotta be honest, like Rude's single pieces are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm looking at his comic stuff, whenever he's doing, and because I have whenever I have to draw something, I gotta make it all flow together.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can critique Rude on with that is if you look at his panels, he tends to have stuff kind of scattered all over.
Mm.
And I look at that and I'm looking at this cover and I'm going, wow. And it's just a personal fidget of mine.
Right.
Because the dude's a monster talent. But he's got this, just in the panel, just stuff is scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's yeah. Some people just have a kind of a weird dynamic on that. Like I love Marco Rudi's drawings. I love his work, but sometimes his sequential stuff is just so like I think unless you're on his wavelength, it's kind of I don't want to say it's hard to follow. Like I don't want to disservice Marco's work because the guy's a genius, but like it's one of those things where you really kind of be got to be on the same page with the same wavelength to kind of see where you're supposed to go in the story sometimes because he just does these really crazy like if you took a piece of glass and shattered it and every piece that remains was a panel, he does that kind of stuff, you know, and really
okay.
dynamic and crazy, and the drawings inside are wonderful, but I find sometimes it's a little bit too high energy for me to really know like where to go with it. um you know, which can be a bit of a problem with storytelling for sure.
Who was it that did? I can't think. Chris. He put his own book out called Steampunk. Bacala.
Oh, Chris Pacello. Yeah.
Chris Bacala. And I'm
That's
looking
a
at
hot mess.
the steampunk pages, and I was like, these are just gorgeous. I can't read them.
Yeah.
You know? Because he just did such intense. Each page had its own design, and I was like, I want to love this because I do love it,
Yeah.
but I can't read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too much unfortunately going on in those pages. They're beautiful, like you said, but
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to have one on my wall because they're just beautiful to look at.
Yep.
But
Yeah, it's
in fact, I even wrote him like a fan email. I said, I love this, but I can't read it. Dang.
yeah, they kind of tore that book apart on Cartoon K-Fab.
On
This
what?
show, it's called Cartoon K-Fab. It's on YouTube. It's Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor.
Discord. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, that's a great show.
Yeah, those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They did not like that book.
Yeah, page design was, you know, all of that stuff was really beautiful, and the colors were beautiful, and the covers were beautiful. I couldn't read it. It made me sad.
Yeah.
I know.
Rob was saying that cartoonist K-Fab had Eastman and Laird on the episode together recently.
They've had a couple.
Yep.
They did a commentary for issue 2 of the original Mirage book and for issue 3. It's really awesome.
Nice.
They had Peter do an interview, and they talked him into doing commentary for issue 1. And I guess they somehow managed to get Kevin to come in and get involved for issue 2 and 3. So hopefully they do more. It was awesome to see it.
Nice to see Peter Laird up and around again. I know he was been pretty ill. The rumors that I've heard that he's not been a very healthy guy. I know he wasn't able to make it to Granite. I thought they were going to try to have him there or something, but he couldn't make it. Hopefully he'll be in good enough shape for the 40th anniversary of the Turtles at Granite in 2024. It'd be awesome to have both of them there.
Yeah, he seems like he's definitely recovering something, but it's a little scary.
Yeah. What's he doing? Leaning on.
Back to my point about how it slows you down when you have to change tools.
I didn't really have a plan today, so I'm going to try to get at least 2 drawings done. I know we're probably getting close to the end of the show, but
Yeah, we got about 20 minutes.
that might be
Well,
What?
I've been
Or
out
until
of the
I fall
groove for a
asleep,
minute.
whichever comes
I
first.
apologize.
What's that?
Said it's pretty obvious. I've been out of the groove for a minute. I apologize.
Oh, it's all right.
That leather head's looking pretty awesome.
You know,
Say what?
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought someone said something.
Yeah, Chris saying your leatherhead looked awesome.
Oh, thanks, man. I don't know if my screen's blurry or not. It probably is. But
Yeah, it's a little low res, so but it's all good.
can you see yours is it's upside down. It's looking good though.
Wait, who's this upside down?
Vance.
Oh,
is it?
yeah. But I've got it flipped for the right. Yeah. And which yoked turtle are you doing there, Mike?
Oh, I'm doing Mikey, the modern day Mikey, who's all jacked up from his mutation, and the last Ronin Mikey, I guess. We'll do like a Lost Years kind of vibe, somewhere in between, you know, the somewhere in the years that were lost. I
Gotcha.
guess.
I haven't seen him yet, or since I didn't know he was that yoked. Okay.
Yeah, he's super jacked. Yeah, he's massive. Yeah, and it's because he kept on mutating. They kind of explained that he kept on, I don't know, maybe the grief helped it along, but yeah, he got super huge. His things changed for him a little bit. Yeah. Like by comparison, his I think his shell looks a bit smaller because he's broadened out in the shoulders so much, which works because half the artists who draw Last Ronin covers always forget to give him a shell,
Oh my
which
god.
always kills me. Like I want to smack
my
my
God.
face into the screen every time I see it, but I'm always like, where's this? Like I love his work. He's a legend. He's one of my favorites. He's one of the first guys that got me really thinking about doing comic book art. And Bart Sears does a crazy, awesome Last Ronin, but 2 times I've seen him draw an amazing Last Ronin. Neither one does he have a shell. It's just like a guy, a super wicked assassin-looking dude with a turtle's face and turtle's hands. Otherwise, it's just he's just like built like Captain America. And it's an awesome, amazing drawing. But like, where's his shell? Like, I'm always screaming, "Where's his shell? Where's his shell?"
Thank God I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you're not the only
you're
one.
Definitely not.
You're not,
Seriously.
because there's more than a few. Like, I'm not wrong, right? There's more than a
so
few
many-
shells where it's
There's so many to
the
do
Ronin
it.
cards.
There's
Like,
so
what's
many,
his fucking shell? Like,
I think
Like, you
Tyler
do know you're
Kirkham-
drawing a turtle, right?
Yeah, like
I
Tyler
remember-
Kirkham, I love his work, and I think the first cover he did for him, he gave him like 4 fingers.
oh
And-
no, really?
Yeah.
And he's like, that is
That's the other one.
inaccurate, sir. Like, you cannot do that.
Oh man, I believe it or not, I was at a show with Justin Steves and from Big Country, and I was drawing on one of those black obscurity variants, and I had this gesture worked out on a piece of paper of the Ronin kind of jumping through the air, one hand on a weapon and one hand kind of open, like a comic book action hand pose. And for whatever reason, I was trying to decide in my rough sketch what I wanted to do with the fingers. So I had like multiple fingers drawn, but I was only going to pick 3 of them, the thumb and the 2 fingers for the hand in the final transfer. For whatever reason, when I was doing my transfer, I was probably distracted talking at the show. I transferred it down. I actually drew him with 3 fingers and a thumb, and and I was inking it. And I'm like, oh, and everything else with the drawing was nice. It was just nice, And Justin leans over. He goes, "Buddy, he's only got 2 fingers." And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I look down and I'm like, oh, fuck me. And I had given him like the 3 hands and thumb sticking out like this. And luckily it was a black cover, and luckily I had lots of black paint. And I was able to kind of go in and carve out a new hand. And the guy who bought the piece was none the wiser. He's probably listening to the show.
Motherfucker.
You don't even know you're out there, but you're out there. Yeah.
He's gonna have his attorney contact you on Monday.
Yeah.
Hey, Stefan, is there any way to I've got to turn my computer off, but I can keep my phone on. It's plugged in, so I'm not going to disappear.
Put your audio.
Is there any way to? Yeah.
I'm going to mute your computer, and I've unmuted your phone. So I give it a shot.
I don't know what to do with these goddamn hands. I'll just pull a life out and have him washing the dishes. Just do like the cutaway of the sink down below.
No feet.
Man, look at you guys inking like crazy. That's wild. That's awesome, man.
Hey, Chris, is your phone plugged in?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Something going on?
No, I was seeing a low battery reading, but if it's plugged in, it just normally stays at that level. So it's all good.
Oh, actually, it's not plugged in. I just know it's at 28%.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, you might want to plug that in.
Oh, 1 second.
Yep.
All right, can you hear me now?
There you are. Yep, sure can.
All right, yeah, I'm alive.
Okay.
So Rob was saying he should blame the finger thing on AI.
Yeah. Well, people should stop talking AI art because, remember, when you point a finger at AI art, it points 12 fingers off of one hand back at you. But once they figure out hands, then we're fucked. That's the only thing right now. The only barrier.
It was it was weird because everyone all of a sudden caught on AI, because AI has been writing for over 2 years now. Yeah, news reports, things like that. All this stuff's being AI generated.
Yep.
I know, in story, no one really said boo, but the minute AI showed up on the art scene, everyone lost their fucking mind. Rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. I'm on.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, welcome to my world, people.
Yeah. Well, in the music world too, right? Musicians have been screaming about this forever too. It's.
I mean, I'm glad there's finally enough people yelling about it and hopefully shut it down a bit, but.
Yeah.
And Carl Rob says your inks are fantastic. Throwing a little love at Carl's way. Everyone's actually happy you're back, Carl. I'm not sure why, but hey, I'll take it. There it is. So we're getting close to the end here, fellas. So,
all right.
Anybody got any hot plans for the rest of the weekend, or?
Just catching up on art.
Yeah. Gonna sit and draw Dodge all day. Try to take some of these nonsensical notes, and because I know exactly what this means, but no one else does.
Yeah.
But the more time between me taking those notes and doing something with it and me not, that's that crucial time, because I can come back that morning and be like, "What the fuck did I draw?" Because there's little triumphs in those scribbles that no one can see but me.
Tell you what really kills you though is trying to stay loose, because if you fall in love with some of those little doodles,
Oh, that's it.
and
I
then
know.
you cannot replicate them.
No, and then you take them to the final, and then you go, "Oh fuck! I should have checked the anatomy on this."
Yeah, they look like
They
shit.
look like shit. This is wow. Like, I love the energy of that, but that's what I loved. It wasn't the drawing sucks.
Yeah, or you do this little doodle and you're trying to figure out how to blow it up to keep the magic on it,
Yeah,
and you can't, and you drive yourself nuts because you look at
I
this
know.
little thing where he went, "La, la, la, la." Wow, look at that, that's amazing. And you, son of a bitch. So yeah, I try and keep stuff as sloppy as possible so that magic happens when I'm trying to do the final.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's yeah, it's almost like I almost kind of want to do my thumbnails at full size. I want to just
Yeah.
work at 11 by 17 and then just light box that and just say fuck it, because at least at that size you know what you're going to get when it blows up. But yeah.
Yeah, teacher I had in art school, and that was one of his things. He said, "Man, don't fall in love with these roughs."
No,
You know?
you get too precious about them. You got to learn how to kill your babies. How they as they say. Well, it's been awesome having you back, Carl.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I'm sorry I didn't get to hear anything Chris said all night, which sucks. So, Chris, next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, if video's audio is just not crossing the border.
Could be.
Because
that's crazy.
Blame Canada, as always. That's the way forward.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, because it's so bizarre that you can't hear him and you can hear everybody else.
Everyone else
the
can hear
weirdest
me.
thing. Yeah, I can see his beautiful drawing, but
Thank you.
yeah, super weird.
He said, "Fuck off." Wild. Did not expect him to take a left turn like that, but sure. Yeah, I go
trying to start the fight early before granted.
Yeah, I could go like all interpreter here, just say wild shit that he's not saying.
That's
He'll
it.
never know. You'll be like, what?
The all lip synced episode.
Yeah.
Well, one day I'll learn how to draw a hand. You guys will see what I draw.
All right, we will get close to wrapping this up here. So, Chris, we'll start with you since Mike can't hear it. But for the people who don't know, where can they follow you online? What's the best places for them to?
You can follow me on Instagram at ctover18, and pretty much Facebook is most where you can look at all my stuff. I do have a Patreon page, so just search, Chris Vanton Patreon, and check out some stuff there. Maybe you want to join up.
Good. What can people get on the Patreon?
I'm actually been able to, like I said, I've been a bit behind, but I've been offering off sketch cards. You can look at anything I'm working on right now. You'll probably get to see a lot of the covers that I've been working on, like the Ronin stuff. And more Dragonfly once that comes up, but mostly, just a lot of commission stuff I'm working on and cover stuff.
Awesome. Jason, what about you, man?
You guys can find me at I don't know if that's even showing anything. Jason Flowers Art. That's my handle for my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, TikTok, blog, everything. You can also pick up my Last Ronin #1 variant, still available on my store page, Jason Flowers Art, Big Cartel. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Carl, rumor has it you have a new IG.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. It's true. What's that?
Oh,
What?
it's Carl G.
Hot.
Waller. I have it on screen, so if you can't remember what you're on
Did
Instagram.
you take the boys out?
Blazing Saddles.
Thank you.
Blazing Saddles.
I-
We could have
I
an entire
occasionally-
new episode just talking about Blazing Saddles if you want. We'll keep this going for another 3 hours. Just talk Blazing Saddles.
I
Very
occasionally stumble onto Instagram under my own name. Right now, I'm just so busy trying to get Axel's pages done. Now Dan is playing editor. I don't blame him.
And Mike.
Oh, as always, you can find me at Uncouth Ruth on Twitter and Instagram. I'm not on Twitter that much, mostly on Instagram. And everything I do on Instagram pretty much gets shared over to Facebook, which is just I don't have an art page, it's my personal page on Facebook, Mike Ruth. And that's about it, really. Yeah, I got my website's mikeruth.com. I post new stuff, new jobs, and new covers that I do at that, and have a shop, mikeruth.bigcartel.com, where there's original cover art and Dodge pages and t-shirts and
Do you have
all
that?
that.
Do you have that store linked to your Instagram account?
I believe so. I think I have a link tree on my Instagram account, so the shop should be in there. Yeah,
Good. All right.
probably say t-shirt shop or something. Yep.
Okay. Let's say if not, we need to fix that right away. So.
Oh yeah. I don't really sell a lot out of my shop, to be honest. I post new cover art and stuff. Like I might put my Swamp Thing for sale up there soon. My original art for Swamp Thing might go up soon, and different things like that. But yeah, that's about it, really. I haven't had a lot of time to make new stuff. There'll be a whole bunch of Dodge pages when the book's done going up.
Very cool.
So that'll be good. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us this week. We will be back next week, which I actually just forgot what next week is. Hold, please.
I don't remember what next week is. I don't think
Oh
I'm on
yeah,
next
next week is Marvel DC villains.
Oh right, yes.
Now, in theory, Kelly Williams will be joining us again, and
Oh yeah.
the return of Philip Jean Pierre.
Oh really? Wow.
And Sean and Nathan Phillips. So it's going to be raucous. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Oh man, that's great. Well, if there's room, I'll jump on. But that sounds great.
Yeah, you can
Awesome.
jump on. And that one actually will be hosted by Nathan next week. So I will be
Oh,
taking
cool.
another week off to get caught up on all the stuff that I haven't been able to do for the last month. So but I'll be lurking in the background, making sure things run smooth for Nathan. So and everybody, if you got nothing else to do Monday night, you can join us for Things Are Getting Dicey, or Things Are Getting Icy edition for our D&D campaign through Icewind Dale. And we'll see if people can actually get to town this time. So.
It's just so icy. And
Yeah,
daily.
I mean, they're easier to distract than like a pack of labradoodles. I mean,
When do we need to have these pieces to you, sir?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't think we've done the new auction format with your stuff. So the new auction starts Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. So
Okay.
preferably if you can get them to me tomorrow night, great. But if not, like Monday late morning, that way I can get everything sized and ready to go. Because I like to get because the game starts at 7. I want to get the auctions done by 6. So
Right.
that way I can set it to actually go at 7. And then they run for 2 days, so it'll end Wednesday evening. All right, everybody.
Right on.
Have
All
a
right.
great weekend,
All right,
and we'll talk to everybody later this week.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks again, man.
All right.
Good